we invite a very dynamic leader from USANA, all the way from US, which is Simon Chen, Fortune 25 member, $1 Million Clubs, 3-star diamond director, Simon Chen.
Are we recording? Good? Okay, so anyway, I want to thank Adam. I also thank UFI for inviting me here. I think I told Adam I want to do a special training, small group. I think last year we did a really big group, right? This year I told let's make it smaller and more intimate. So I'll be here for the next 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and whatever questions you have, I'll be more than happy to answer anything. All right? What are some things you want to learn today? And I'm open to talking about anything. What are some challenges you have in your business today? Time management. Okay? Time management.
How do you deal with holidays?
Holidays? You don't take holidays. There's no holidays in your song. No, okay, holidays. Okay, what else? And say your name too when you ask the question, so I'll do my best to remember the name.
I'm Yurun.
Yurun?
Yeah, you already invite someone but they didn't join, so how do you follow up their business?
Okay, so follow up. Okay? Kelly.
Yeah, I just want to ask, how do you build a trust?
How do you build trust? Okay?
Social media?
Okay, what about social media?
How do you market yourself and build up the brand?
How do you market yourself? Okay?
Baby boomers as customer?
Baby boomers as customers. What do you mean by that?
Because I guess that there's no health concern. But
Oh, so you want to target them, you say? How to target? Okay,
Sorry.
go ahead. Iris.
How to lead the baby boomers,
How to lead baby boomers.
or how to talk to them.
Lead, talk.
Just be boring.
Adam is a baby boomer. No, he's not. He's definitely not boring. Yeah, go ahead. What's your name?
Chuck.
Chuck.
Yeah, how do you do the business without any materialistic credibility?
Okay, good. Very good. Basically, it's credibility, right? Okay. Anything else?
How do you divide your time to different your team time management?
No. It's good. Well, how do you divide your team to? But time management, right away. So I could talk about time management for 10 hours. We would take up all your time for time management. But it's very specific.
Yeah.
How do you divide your time for?
For your teammates, like your downlines, how do you know which one to spend more time on, spend less?
Okay, good. So let's stop here, okay? So I always talk about this 5 areas you really need to be good at if you want to make big money in network marketing. So big bucks, I'm talking about minimum. I'm just talking about like 100,000. If you want to make like 100,000, you need to at least be good at these 5 skills. So the first skill we're going to talk about is your mindset. You have to have the right attitude, the way you approach things, the way you view things. Okay? It's got to be what successful people do. Okay? The first rule, people ask, how many of you guys read my blog? Okay? So I wrote a blog maybe 3 weeks ago about if you want to talk about my things that help me become successful, it comes down to one thing is I have what we call a contrarian philosophy. Contrarian philosophy means do the opposite of what everyone else is doing. if you think about the philosophy of that, most people out there, maybe your friends who are not in USANA, or your friends out there, right? Are they successful? Are they financially successful? No, right? 99% of your friends who are out there, they're not making much money, correct?
Yes.
So if you do what they do, what are you going to end up? You're going to end up like them. Like most of your parents, a lot of your parents probably love you very much, but most of your parents or your relatives, are they financially successful? Like what you want? Are they financially successful? Or where you want to be? Do they have what you want? Or you want more than that? You want more, right? Again, your parents are very loving, good. So if you want to be successful, you cannot do what they do. Okay? So you think about, what are some things that most people do? Housekeeping? Watch TV. Oh, by the way, housekeeping also. Do you think anyone, like a CEO, Steve Jobs, does housekeeping work? Do you think like Martha Stewart, Oprah Winfrey does housekeeping work? Do you think she cleans the dishes? Do you think she cooks? No, right? So when I talk about this, these are the people we're talking about. We're not talking about an average person. We're talking about you want to be, you're here very simply, UFI, because you want to make money, correct? Is anyone here who doesn't want to make any money? Money's not important. All right, so the whole goal of this business is to make money, right? Now, I'm not saying money does not make you happy. Money is not going to make you the most successful person, doesn't make you happy, but for business, we're talking about money, because that's how we know, how we keep track of score. Like you play basketball, right? There's no fun if you don't keep score, right? So in business, in USANA, you got to keep score. The way you keep score is by money, right? Or your volume points. Or even if you don't get a check, you check by how much volume you get. So, if those people out there, right, like housekeeping, watching TV, those people are not watching TV. People are successful. Can you think of anyone who is successful that just sits home and watches TV?
I don't think so.
No, they're not there. They're like you, right? You're learning. They're either building the business, or they're spending time with their loved ones, or they're learning to get better. But they're not sitting home, random internet surfing, whatever, watching videos on Facebook or this YouTube or all this garbage, okay? And I really say garbage, they're garbage, because it doesn't make you any money. So one of the things, you should write this down, if it doesn't make you money, don't do it, right? What's the habits that do? And the stuff they do, you make sure you don't do them. Because if you do them, you're going to end up like them, right? So, think about the stuff that people do, they talk about. What do most people talk about? They gossip. Yes. Gossip is number one negative to successful people don't gossip. Why? Not because it's bad. I mean, there's a selfish reason. I mean, the reason is it's not nice to gossip. It's not nice to gossip, right? But there's a more selfish reason why I don't gossip. The reasons, I mean, of course, I want to be a nice person, right? But the reason I don't gossip is because it sucks up my energy, sucks up my time. And my time and energy cannot be spent on small little trivial things. Right? There's a good saying, the size, I'm sorry ladies, but there's more ladies here than guys. There should be more guys here then. Right? So the size of a man is determined by the size of his problems. You understand that? The size, like how great you are as a man, how much you can accomplish is determined by the size of the problems that bother you. A lot of things that happen in our normal life are small little things. Trivial. Trivial things. Shouldn't bother you. So I talked about yesterday, we did a little mindset thing. So for those who are here, don't say anything. How many of you drive? A couple of you drive. Well, a bunch of you drive, right? So what's the price of petrol? 4 liter.
Yeah.
$1.50 something?
Yeah.
So you're not going to like to hear this? It's better that you didn't know that. Because that means you're wasting your mind to think about small little things. Okay? Do you think Steve Jobs, well, I'm talking about Steve Jobs, do you think even Dave Wentz worries about the price of petrol? Why? Price of petrol has nothing to do with, and I'm sharing this with you because no one taught you this. The price of petrol is no factor to your success in this business. It's just because it's going to be $1.60, does it mean that you're not going to drive your car? If it's $1.40, does it mean you're going to drive more? We go laps around the block for fun, which is cheaper, right? So it has no impact to your USANA business, right? Your mind, because we're like, the computer, you open too many programs, it slows down, right? You have to close your programs, right? Or sucks up your battery, right? On iPhone, you have too many applications running. If you have too many things thinking about, it slows you down, it stresses you, and you can't focus on the business. You should be only focused on prospecting, following up, training your team, doing self-development, talking to your team, working with them. How do you expand your list, right? So again, small things. The price of petrol, it doesn't matter. If it goes up, it goes down, you're still going to buy it. You're still going to drive. So why even pay attention to those type of things? You should actually be paying attention, maybe instead of looking at the price of the petrol, who's working at the petrol, maybe he could be a prospect, right? Your focus, because what you focus on is what you get, right? Because we talk about goal setting, your focus, looking at it, subconscious mind. So focus on big things, small little things. Focus on the overall big picture. And how many of you read Think and Grow Rich? Okay. Think and Grow Rich is a great book. One of the things he talks about is like the invisible ghost in the chapter, right? He imagined, well, he named all those people like Rockefeller, Andrew Carnegie. With the stuff that they were doing, would those people be doing it, right? Who's the richest person in the world? Like Bill Gates, right? Or the guy in Mexico, right? Or like Li Ka-shing, right? Will Li Ka-shing worry about the price of petrol? Will he be doing housekeeping work? Will he be sitting at home watching TV, right? They won't. So these are the people you got to start aspiring to. Not like the most of the people. Now the trick is all those, your friends, they are on the outside, but they haven't. By the way, even if you're new in the business, how many of you knew less than 6 months? Okay? If you're new, you haven't made that much money, you're still successful already. Because you're taking the first step in the right direction. But the rest of your friends out there, they're still clueless. Right? They're still, I'm going to go work in the school and get a job. Right? So you've taken the first step. So even if you never made a check, you're a success already because you took action. You're on the right track. So focus on the things that your role models do, right? They don't look at small things. Big people make big money, they think to focus on bigger things. So talk about social media, how do you market yourself? And it's all related to the mindset. People don't, and this is, who asked this question too about credibility? You asked a question about credibility? Okay, Chuck, right? So you're new in the business. So if your friends like, oh, how much money have you made? Right? Are you doing well? That's probably a question they ask you, right? People, you know what people buy? People buy your change, not by how much income you made. So Chuck, even if you made later on, you make $1,000, but you're still the way you are. I'm not saying you're bad, right? But the way you are, people will still bring that up. Why do I never get that question, how much you made? Even when I first, why do you think no one's ever asked me that question? How much money I made? Why?
Because your business, because you don't have the stable, it's not a stable job. That is not every time income is same, because it depends on your business.
No, but I'm saying, well, prospects. Do you think prospects ask me, Simon, talk to me when you're successful, right? Do you think prospects ask me that question? Do you think prospects ask Adam that question? Well, why not? Because they can see it, right? Exactly. Now, I don't go out there and talk about how much money I make. I don't go out and show out my checks, right? I don't. There's some people who do that. But even if you make a lot of money and show your checks, but you still haven't changed, they're still very skeptical, right? They will think that, is that a real check? Is that really to your name? Is the check really bounced? Is it clear? They ask those type of questions. So people buy your change, right? So you got to change. If you want to check, if you want the credibility, you got to change as a person. So how do you, for example, how do you change? You're more confident. You speak more confident. You dress well, right? You probably didn't dress like that before. Did you dress like that before the business? Always dress like that. Oh, okay. My wife doesn't know you. She goes, oh, you should dress like Chuck. No, I never always dress like that. Right? I used to never dress like this. Okay? So the people buy your credibility by the way you change. So if your dress is the same, then you speak confidently. Okay? How do you, for example, credibility. On Facebook, you normally post pictures of food, pictures of video games. And by the way, you know, Facebook, I don't spend much time on Facebook. If you sit on Facebook, most of the stuff is all done by my assistant. Okay? She goes through stuff and then maybe 3-4 times a week I'll answer messages. But most of the stuff, she does the posting, I do some commenting, but she does most of it. But I made a mistake in Facebook a long time ago. I added everyone as friends. Now I want to get rid of everyone. Right? But it's very inconvenient to, you know, Facebook's hard to unfriend people. You have to click here, click here. There's a lot of clicks, like 4 clicks, right? I wish it could just be one page of mass, right, easy. But you can't do that if they're click. But I will take the time, 1 minute of my time, to unfriend someone if they do one thing. If they invite me to play some stupid game, automatically unfriend. I will take the time, stop what I'm doing, go click, unfriend, right? Because that's not the person I want anyways, okay? Because it's so annoying too, invited to play Candy Sag or Crush or whatever. Right? I don't even know what that is. But instantly unfriend, okay? Or Bubble, whatever, instantly unfriend. So you know, offend you, I'm sorry, I'm very direct, okay? But by the way, do you think like Bill Gates is playing Candy Crush? Do you think Mark Zuckerberg? Do you think Mark Zuckerberg's playing Candy Crush? Or whoever invented it? No, they invent the game to take your money. Mark Zuckerberg think about the next game that you take up your time. Because time is money. Talk about time. Time is money. These people are thinking of the games that will sucker you into play those games. They're not playing the games. They come to ideas to get you addicted. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because time is money. Because what's the only thing that can limit your income from business? Time, right? Like you can always talk to. I was talking with Adam. Was like, all of you could be in my downline, but I just don't have time to go to Melbourne and talk to people, right? Because there's so many prospects out there. There's so many next superstars. There's another Osmond out there, right? But you're wasting time playing whatever you're doing, and then that person walks right, could be right in front of you, and you're too busy. Or you talk about working with bad downlines. Some downline is no good. You keep trying to train the person, not paying attention, and another superstar walks past you, but you have no time. Or you're complaining about, oh, the price of petrol went up, and you don't realize that the person next to you could be a good prospect. So you get distracted by all these things, and then you're blind to the opportunities in front of you. Every one of us, the opportunity, the next diamond is right in front of you. But you have to go out there. So let me explain to you how networking works. So while we're talking about this, I'm going to get back to change. I haven't forgotten about change. Okay? So there's 5 deadly mistakes that people make when they prospect. Especially if you're new, 5 mistakes that people make when you make your contact list. So the first mistake people make is they only put down their close friends and family. And so this is, for example, who wants to be a volunteer? I'm going to pick on Chuck. Chuck is here. How long have you been in business, Chuck?
I don't really know. I forgot.
You forgot how long you've been in business?
Yes.
Well, that's a big problem. You need to know how long you've been in the business. Is it 1 day, 1 week?
Actually, I think I took a long break. I just came back today.
Oh, you just came back today.
Yes.
So 1 day, for 1 hour you've been here.
Yes.
Okay, so you've been in the business 1 hour. So this is very
Awesome.
good here. Okay? So you just got started. So friends and family. Friends. Okay, I just put 4 people here. I'm not very good at drawing. So friends. The first mistake they make is they think, when they make the list, they only think about close friends and family. And most of your friends, close friends and family, are not going to be good in the business. Now, they may be customers, yes, but they're not going to be like a diamond like Adam. Is that true, Osmond? Most of your close friends and family? Right, your family? They're definitely, especially family. Okay? You know, I'll share something. There's three, one of the biggest mistakes you could ever make, because it's a waste of time, frustration. One of the biggest mistakes you can make is give free advice to people. It was one of the most painful mistakes. You ever given free advice to friends who don't want to listen? It's very painful, right? Your friends and family. But there's only one thing more painful than that, more frustrating than that, is giving free advice to close friends and to close family relatives. Because they never listen to you. It's just fighting, right? So don't even waste your time. So your close friends and family, that's the first mistake. Don't only put those people down there. The second mistake they make is they only put down friends who they think will be good in the business. Who they think will be good. Oh, John's going to be good, I'm going to talk to John. You know, Peter, you know, there's no money, he's not going to be good, I'm not going to talk to him. Michelle, she's not good. You know? Becky's going to be pretty good. So that's a big mistake, because you never know who's going to be good in the business. So even if Michelle's not good, but Michelle's roommate may be good in the business. Okay? So the analogy is, what type of food do most of you like to eat?
Seafood.
Sushi. Everyone likes Japanese food?
Yep.
Most people like Japanese sushi, right? That's like a safe answer. Everyone likes sushi. So if you open a sushi restaurant, Angela, right?
No,
Ashley, I know, see, I got her 8, you started with 8. Ashley, so Ashley, just so you open a sushi, Japanese restaurant, would you tell only your close friends and family?
no.
You tell everyone? Or would you tell only your friends that like Japanese food? Or do you still tell everyone?
Those people are
What about if the friend doesn't like Japanese, is allergic to seafood? Do you still tell them? You open a Japanese restaurant? You still tell them, right? Because even though they may not eat it, or maybe their friends eat it. So you tell everyone. It's the same in this business. Don't say, oh, he's not going to be interested in this business. They don't take supplements. No, you don't disqualify anyone. First of all, you never know. And secondly, you have no right to judge people. Because do you believe this business can help people? So you have no right to say, he's not going to be good. You never know that. You know, one of my top leaders, he used to go get drunk 6 nights a week. Right? Party animal. But man, he's an Emerald director now. Solid Emerald. I have another friend, I went to Ivy League, college with me, USC MBA, very smart, but dropped out in 6 months. Do nothing. No, he got one sign up and dropped out. And then I have another guy who was a Star Diamond director in the Philippines, went to jail. He's a Star Diamond director. Okay? You never know. It's not your right. You don't have the right to judge someone. You don't have the right to judge. All your responsibility is to share the opportunity. So those are 2 mistakes, right? Number 1, you only talk to your friends and family. Number 2, share with only the people you think will be interested. You never know who's going to be interested. You know, when I share with my friend who used to go party out when drunk, I never thought you'd be interested. I thought I just needed to sign him up, and I'm telling you, this is the wrong attitude. I just needed to sign up. I just signed him up, I thought he would quit. Well, at least I got sign him up, right? But I never think he surprised me. He got to reach this stage in his life. He was tired of partying, and he wanted to do something with his life. So 2 mistakes. Third mistake is when you talk to your contact list, you try to get everyone to sign up. Okay? You want to get everyone to sign up. It's like, Ashley, you open a Japanese restaurant, you want everyone to eat at a Japanese restaurant tonight in your place. I was going to say, I just had Shanghai noodles. Doesn't matter, you got to come right now. You got to come and eat Japanese tonight. What happened to your friends? They'll never push you away. They'll never talk to you anymore. They, she's a freak. She's crazy, right? And even if they want to eat Japanese, just say later on, maybe if you're talking like the Osmond, and he's hungry for sushi, you still won't go there to your place because he's afraid once you go there, you're going to nag him to death, right? So when your contact list is just to let people know about the business. It's not to try to sign everyone up. Because the reality is a lot of people are not going to be interested. Right? 90% will not be interested, but they may know someone who may be interested, or they may be interested later on. Right? So I'm not. Here's a good rule. For example, school just it's the finals week, right? Finals. Do you think your friend wants to be interested in joining? Maybe not. But after finals is over, during school break, do you think he'd be more interested in joining? Yes, right? But if you nag the person during the finals week, come on, you gotta join, you gotta go. This person, I hate you, I just want to focus on study, you won't even let me study. So later on during the break, you call them, do you think they're gonna take your call? They're scared already, they're traumatized, right? So when you have your contact list, it's just like having a Japanese restaurant. You want your goal is to let everyone know about the business, not to make the sale. Shift the focus away, I gotta get a sign up, I gotta get a customer. Then you'd be actually more natural. You'd be less pushy, and people actually be attracted to you. You're talking about marketing, that's one of the things social media. You don't push it. You're not doing when you're posting things. You don't post advertisements. Okay. All right. So fourth mistake that people make is they sell the business or the product, and not the meeting. They sell the business, not the meeting. Meaning, I talk to Elaine. I'm calling her. I'm trying to talk to her on the phone about the whole business, how the business works. Okay? When you talk like that, what do you sound like? You sound like a salesperson. Right? First of all, especially if you're new in the business, you can't do a good presentation. Right? Anyone, even for me, can anyone do a good presentation in like 2 minute, 5 minute phone call? No. How long does a good presentation take? 45 minutes, right? Or at minimum, quick, at least 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. At least, if you you talk fast like me, maybe 20 minutes. Okay? But you still need time. You can't do it in 5 minutes or 2 minutes. So if you talk to your friend, you contact your friend and try to convince them, and you're talking, your friend's going to fall asleep if you talk to them for 30 minutes on the phone about this business. So when you contact them, the goal is to get them to the meeting. Get them to be curious about the meeting, not to sign them up, not to explain. The more you talk, so this was a big aha moment for me. The more you talk, the worse it is. Because if you talk so well, most people are most people good at presenting and talking? Most people. No, right? They're not. So if you talk really well, they think that they must be a good talker like you in order to join the business. Understand? So it's you understand? So the less you talk, the better. Just say, hey, come to the meeting, you'll learn more about the business. Can you tell me more? No, that's not my job. I can't talk to you more. You have to talk to this guy. Oscar, he's going to do the presentation. He'll explain to you. Why not? How come you can't tell me more? That's not my job. Just tell him that's not my job. I'm not allowed. Okay? If you say, once you start trying to explain, this is supplements, and people will just hang up the phone. Okay? I'm not hanging up the phone. They will lose interest. Say, how come you can't tell me more? Come to the meeting. It's very exciting, very fun. A lot of meeting with music. It's fun. Have a good time. Why can't you tell me more? That's not my job. I'm not allowed to. You can say we work with American. If you feel uncomfortable, you can share a little bit. We work with an American company, 22 years. We're expanding in Melbourne. That's all I can say. That's all I'm allowed to say. You know you ever played a game like Secret? You know, when you were a kid, like, oh Kelly, let me tell you a secret. Well, maybe not. I'll tell you later. Right? Maybe I'll say. How does she feel? Now all of a sudden, Simon, come on, please tell me. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't really tell you. So she's like, come on, tell me, right? So you got to come to this meeting. How can I'm not allowed to tell you. I can't. I'm sorry. You come there, ask me to tell you, and I'll share a little bit more, but I'm not allowed to tell you. You have to come to the meeting. Your job in context is to create curiosity. Okay? How many of you have a hard time bringing people to meetings? Right? Because you probably told them too much. If you tell them too much about the supplements, the name of the company, then they go on Google and look, and I know everything online. Why should I come? I'd rather stay home and watch TV or play with a Candy Crush thing or whatever. They're going to go to the meeting, right? Because people are always busy, have other things to do. I'd rather watch movies, watch DVDs. I don't want to go to the meeting. So that's why you can't tell them too much. So the last mistake is they approach everyone the same way. 3 types of prospects. Okay, there's 3 types of prospects: S, O, and W. S are people who are more successful than you. So, Kelly, can you think of someone who's more successful than you? Someone that you look up to? Could be your mentor, your oldest sister, teacher. Simon Chan, okay? Right? Someone, okay? Adam, okay? So those are S, people who you look up to. The O's are like on the same level. These are your peers. So you know what I mean? On the same level. They're not better than you, they're not worse than you, they're the people you spend the most time with. And then W, they want to be like you. Want to be like you. They want to be like you. Okay? So want to be like you is someone, do you have someone that looks up to you? Or like a younger sister, younger sibling, young cousin, right? Whatever you say, they'll listen to you, right? So you have to talk to these 3 people differently. So if I was, let's say this, just say like I look up to Adam. Adam is like S, and Osmond is my upline, right? So I would say, hey Adam, you're one of the most successful people I know. I look up to you. I'm working with a company right now. We're looking for smart people like you. Do you have time to talk to this guy Osmond for like 2 minutes? We're actually expanding this opportunity to make some part-time income. Take a 2-minute phone call. Can you talk to Osmond? That's what I do. Okay, very simple. You understand that? Now it's the opposite of this. W. W is like my younger cousin. Actually, my younger brother, right? He's not my real brother, but brother. Jeff. Jeff, if I said the same thing to him, he would look at me like weird, because I normally just tell him what to do, right? Jeff, I was like, hey Jeff, what are you doing Saturday night? 7 p.m., not much. Well, good. You know what? Come to my house 7 p.m. I'm going to show you something. You got to listen to this presentation. You look up to me, right? I always do good things for you. So come here, this will help you out. You command them, you tell them what to do. And they will listen to you because they look up to you, right? So inviting these two people 2 different ways. By the way, you want the scripts, they're all on my website. Okay? Simon W. Chan. If you go to training, 5 deadly mistakes, the scripts are over there. The O are the, let me ask you, the 3 types of people, S, O, and W. Which ones are the hardest to get to sign up?
Yes.
O's. S. Who says S? Who says S? Who says O's? And who says W's? You all sign up your W's, right? W's are easy to sign up, right? You tell them what to do, they'll do it. So the hardest ones to sign up are the O's, because they know you too well. They know you too well. Like Chuck, here's a good example. You say you always dress like that, right?
Yeah.
I looked at you, before this is young kid, I call you a kid. Anyone who's younger than me is a kid, okay? You're very well dressed, got a napkin. I'm very impressed, right? I'm impressed already. Your friends, they know you always dress like that. They're not impressed by you. So for me, that you impress me more than you impress your close friends. But your close friends always see you dressed like that. For me, I don't know you. It's like, wow, he's pretty impressive. So that's a very good example, right? I actually thought you dressed like that just because of the business, but he's always been like that. I was impressed, but his friends wouldn't be impressed because they know him too well. So the O's know you too well. Just like my O's know that when I went to Columbia, I couldn't wake up for 2 p.m. class, okay? Because I was up to 6 a.m. playing video games or whatever I was doing, okay? Basketball and stuff like that. So, but I shouldn't even tell you that. There's one game I played back then. It's still around. Don't ever play this game. Civilization. Don't ever play that game. It's actually on the iPad now. Don't ever play that game, okay? It's like time, 1 kill time. If you're ever stranded in the desert and you have nothing to do, then you can play that game. Nothing to do. But anyway, I would play basketball and stuff like that. Video, NBA Live, all these type of games. So my friends remember that. So when I talk to them about the business, they don't respect me. Because in their mind, they still remember times like playing NBA Live and Sega Genesis and, now he's talking about business. So the O's are the toughest. So how do you invite the O's? Okay? How many of you have ever never done network marketing before? Never. How many have done network marketing before? 1, okay? So this still works. So O's, so if I'm talking to Ashley, I say, hey Ashley, what do you do on Saturday night? Come out to this meeting. Just do me a favor, you're one of my close friends. I just started working for this company. I want to make a good impression for this guy Osmond. Can you just come and show up? Okay? So if she asks, what's this about? We're working with a 20-year-old company. You're my best friends. I want to make a good impression. You just show up and support me. Can you do me a favor and come and support me? Okay, don't talk, ask them what's it about. Don't talk about supplements or that, because the more you talk, your friends are going to, they're not going to respect you because they know you too well. Right? You want to create that curiosity. Say like, I want to tell you, but I'm not allowed to tell you. Your whole goal is to get them to the meeting. Let the upline experts present. So if you've never done MLM before, you can say this, hey Ashley, if you keep giving me a hard time, like, I don't know if I want to come. Hey Ashley, listen, you know me for a long time. Have I ever told you to do something like this before? Have I ever told you to do something like this before? No, I'm sure. Like, I've never asked you, right? Have I ever talked about a good working with a company? Never. This is my first time ever. Can you just do me a favor and show up? I've never asked you. Now, if the person knows it's like a business, like an MLM, and you've never done MLM before, you can say, hey, I'm very skeptical. I've never done MLM before, right? Very skeptical. But this time, this is very different. right? It's not like I joined 5 MLMs and every time I tell you to come. You've known me for so long, it's the first time I actually saw something really good. Can you do me a favor and show up? Okay, so the O's, because you know them well, you should use the favor. And do me a favor and just come. And I get it. It's not your right to judge whether they're going to be interested or not. Because Ashley may not be interested, but she may know someone that's going to be interested. Because if she doesn't sign up, say, would you know anyone else? If you were to do this business, who are the first 3 or 4 people you talk to? Okay? If someone doesn't sign up, then if you do, it's just say she said, I'm not interested in signing. Well, actually, if you did do this, who are the first 3 or 4 friends that you would talk to? Do you mind, like, even if you don't do it, refer some business to me to help me out? Okay, so you ask for the referrals. Because let's go back to this chart here. Your superstars, like Chuck is here. Chuck, what's the name of a friend that you don't know that well? But you know, he's like an acquaintance. Osman, but he's in the business already.
Someone that's not even business. Jason.
Jason, but you don't know him that well. He's not a close friend. No, so Jason. Okay. Most of the people who are going to be good in the business are like on the outside, like a Jason. On the outside here. Not your close friend. Okay? The superstar, like the next Osmond, the next go-director, like an Adam or next Simon Chan, is out here. You're going to get Jason, he's going to be good in the business, and Jason is going to find this guy for you. And that will max out your life. Right, Jeffrey? Most of your leaders are not the ones you know well. We're not your close friends. Most of your close friends are probably not just customers, probably not even really active. Right? That's the funny way the business works. And it's not because your close friends are bad or nothing, because your close friends or family. Do you know why? Because they're like, a lot of times they're O's. Right? They like to, the crowds, like they do like to do the opposite of what you do. Or especially like my brother. My brother, did I tell you a story about my brother? Some of you know my brother, right? How many doesn't know the story about my brother? Okay, enough of you. So my brother is, oh, you're good, you're paying attention there. Good. I'm making sure they're paying attention. By the way, that's how you make sure people pay attention. You quote their name out. And they're like, what? Right, Michelle? Okay. So my brother, we're not that close. We're different personalities. But he's very, very talented. Okay? He's very naturally gifted. Athletically, so he's also taller than me. He's like 6'3". And he can dunk, but he's not a good basketball player because he's lazy. Okay? He's blessed with talent, big hands, but he's lazy. So we didn't get along. I'm like different. I'm like very focused. And so anyway, long story short, when I first started the business, he had all these MLM objections. Up the upline makes the money, but that's true. You can be at the bottom, make more money than at the top. Or MLM's not good because you'll run out. What happens when you run out of people to talk to? Right? Let's talk about market saturation. There's no such thing as market saturation. By the way, take notes. There's no such thing as market saturation. There's always people to talk to. Right? Every day there's new babies born. And those babies turn 18 years old, and you can sign them up. Right? Every day there's new people turning 18. Is this right? In Australia, what's the rule? 18 you can sign up? Every day there's new people turning 18, correct? There's tons of new prospects coming in. How many people are turning 18 every day? Just in the city of Melbourne. Probably thousands and thousands and thousands. Right? Thousands today on March 23rd are turning 18 years old. They're qualified to join the business. So you never run out of people. The day you run out of people is when people stop having babies. Now even if Australia stop having babies, you go to another country. You go to Indonesia, there's tons of people there, 200 million people there. You go to China, so you never really saturate the market. Okay? And then like you saw it, it's only in 19 countries. What happens when they open new countries up? What happens if they open Vietnam? What happens if they open India, Russia, Brazil? So you're never going to run out of people. Trust me, even if the day they run out of people, it's not going to be in our lifetime. Okay? I think you can sign up to aliens if they ever come. So you never run out of people. So my brother was this and that. Anyway, my brother signed up. So I had my brother sign up people, put him on the left leg, right leg. I made my brother $500 in the first month. $500. And then guess what he does? He still quits in 2 weeks. Right? But he doesn't believe. No, he doesn't believe in the products. That's not, you can tell, me and my brother don't get along. But wait, we love each other, we're brothers, but we're not like best friends and stuff. We don't talk. Like some siblings, they talk every day. We talk like 2 times a year, 3 times a year. And when he visits, I visit. Holidays, we see each other, we spend time with each other. Like when we see each other, it's really fun. Because three days in a row, then we start fighting. Okay? Very different personalities. So his wife's a nutritionist. The wife takes the products, he doesn't take the products. His kids take the products, he doesn't take the products. His in-laws take the skincare products, he doesn't take the skincare products. They're too expensive. He'd rather go buy a Target. Okay? So, brother, but he's smart enough to keep his business because in one leg he's got 20,000 people. Because he's directly under me on my 003 years, right? So you build it. But he's smart. He always pays his annual renewal. Because one day, whenever maybe, he would do the business. So a couple years later, gets a phone call, and turns out he joined another MLM. And this was in the mortgage, real estate mortgage. They do loans. And this one in the US was really hot in real estate. So when I went by my house, the house I showed, I got him to do my loan. Because brothers help brothers out, right? Family. So when I didn't tell you this, while I was in Beijing for the 2008 Olympics, I was worried, stressed, because a real estate agent would call me from LA and say, Simon, we're closing in 2 weeks. We still don't have a loan. You need a loan, you get a house, okay? So I called my brother, what happened? What's going on, man? We're buying a house, what's going on? Because I could have gotten a loan from somewhere else, right? But to help him. And it turned out his MLM company went out of business. Right? So I was so stressed with the whole trip in China. Turned out I had to extend the closing, and 3 days right before closing, I got some other guy to give me a last minute, got the loan, and we closed. Right? Almost lost a house. I was so angry. My wife was really angry in China. Like, what's your brother doing? What's that? We should have never gone to your brother. We should have gone this other. So you figure my brother will learn a lesson, right? So back in 2010, my brother calls me and says, hey, you know what? What's Yusan's policy about terminating you? I was like, why are you asking this question? I said, well, because he joined another MLM, okay? And this time he joins another MLM, he goes out there and actually he does pretty well. He signs up with like 4 or 5 people, gets like 15 customers in 2 months. Again, my brother's very talented, he's very good, but 3 months later, quits the business, right? Because he has the downlines are not producing, so he gets discouraged. So one of the things of a mindset is you gotta think long term. My brother's very short term thinking. Now he's a good employee, but not a good entrepreneur, right? You have to think long term. If actually my brother's stuck with it, you actually be pretty good. So he still keeps his, USANA business still active. Not active, like you purchase products once in a while, but he still has it. Because he's smart enough that one day he'll build. Okay, and I don't know when that one day will be. He may have 50,000 downlines. Maybe when he's 70 years old, he start building. I have no idea, but he's keeping it there. So your close friends, sometimes your family, they don't just listen. Like my brother, like giving painful, I used to give free advice, never listen. The first thing, actually, recently, like 2 months ago, my brother contacted me out of the blue asking me for advice. Okay, this is funny. But my brother actually on the side now he wants to be a comedian. My brother's actually pretty funny. Okay, he's way more funny than I do. So he actually he speaks at a weekly local comedy show once a week. And he makes no money, okay? If you want to be a comedian, no money. I'm talking about like barely enough money to buy lunch, that type of money. Like $10 a time, okay? So it's no money, it's like minimum wage. But you do it to hope to get big. But he's spoken somewhere, so now he's contacting out of blue to help him do social media marketing, a website. The first time in like my whole life he actually asked me for help. But getting to your question, Jeff, about working with people, I actually like the fact that my brother is not in the business. Okay, it's better for me because it will be a big time cost. So first of all, just to let you know, like I have 3 business centers, right? So I have this leg, my brother's here, this leg, one leg here. So I'm building like re-entries here, re-entries. If I was to help him out, number one, he doesn't live in the same city. He lives in San Francisco, 6 hours away. I would have to put a re-entry, put it here to help him, right? And then, number one, you cannot build too many legs. It's a major distraction. I don't have the time cost to work with my brother. Now, just not even talking about the emotional cost, the mental stress, because I know if I talk to him, he's not going to listen to me. And then I got to travel, so it's actually better that he quit the business and just use and then his kids use the products, and I just focus. And then we don't get into fights. We talk to each other 3 or 4 times a year, we're cool. If I had to mentor it would be very bad, right? So you work with the ones, you don't work with every downline. You work with the ones who deserve your time. The key part, to answer your question, you work with people that deserve your time. So, since we're talking about mindset, 27%, right? Not talking about 27% of whiners, complainers, right? Complainers, whiners, or whingers, quote here, right? Anyone whinges, they're not going to be successful. Anyone who gossips or talks bad about people are not going to be successful. Because that is not what successful people do. That's the habits. Those are success habits. They don't. People are successful. Don't. And I'm not just talking about success when you're on anything, right? They don't focus the time negative energy. They focus on the positive, what they want, not the negative things. So if anytime a quote a leader starts criticizing people, you know that person's not a leader. People who have achieved anything, they always, if they don't have anything good to say about a person, they don't like it, they just won't say anything. But they won't gossip and say bad things. So if, that's so, by the way, I used to say negative stuff. I used to gossip. These are things that I've learned over the years. Leaders don't do that. You want to make money, you follow what leaders do, right? So 27% whiners, 60% just followers. They do a little bit. Right, followers. And then 8%, 5% left, supporters. And 3% are leaders. So the whiners are the ones who complain. Jeff, why is my order late? Why is the products out of order? Why is it on back order? Why do I have to pay for shipping? Why is the shipping so expensive? Why is the products at the price change? Why is all these other things small little things that have nothing to do? Who cares how much the product does not affect your prospecting? They complain. Why are the trainings on Sunday? Why do you have to pay for trainings? Why is the meeting so far away? All these complaining, right? Complaining. When someone complains, that's not the person you work with. You work with the people who are going to be the supporters to help out. We all started out in some way like supporters. I was a supporter, you're a supporter. Adam needs help, you help out, right? The day you become a leader is when you start taking action. You see things, instead of your upline telling you what to do, you can have ideas and talk to your upline. It doesn't mean you're going to break off and do something, but you have ideas, you help out. Instead of them always reminding you, for example, is the room set, instead of your upline telling you, making sure the room's set up properly, you would tell your upline, hey, what can I do to help set up the room? That's one step of leadership. You take the action, instead of having the upline tell you to remind you. Now, in the past, if the upline told you to remind you, you'd probably do it. But the leadership is actually having the vision, know, hey, these are the things I need to do. These are the things my upline needs help. This is what the team needs. How can I go out there and take a run? Okay, that's the leader, we take action. Now, none of us, I didn't know this stuff. We were probably here. But through training, experience, self-development, reading books, you start learning. This is what leaders do. Right? You start learning about those things. So then you work with your team, you train them to come here, to take action. These people, these are important. They do a little bit, they make the big group meetings. You make them feel happy. You do team events, karaoke, basketball, to make people feel happy. You play basketball with your team. A lot of people who play basketball, they may not be these, but they're there. But they like to be part of UFI because it's fun. And they learn health tips, they become healthier. They can still make an impact. These people, no matter what you do, they're going to quit. Right? So you spend your time on these. The thing to remember is work with people that deserve your time. Not need your time. A lot of people, now that, Jeff, you are gold now, right? A lot of people probably need your time, but they don't deserve your time. So how do you define deserve? Good. What do you define deserve? How do you define deserve? To me, deserve is people who are doing the 5 core activities every day. They're going to expanding their list. They are prospecting every day. They're following up with prospects. They're doing self-development. And they call me. Not call me to talk about what's going on in the NBA or whatever. Talk about business. Hey, this is what I'm... Did you see the game last night? Oh. Maybe you could talk like that for the first 2 minutes, and then I transition. But not like a 30-minute phone call and 29 minutes about MBA and 1 minute about business, right? Now you can have that conversation too, but talk about people who are doing the 5 things. They are building their list, they're prospecting every day, they're following up, they are doing self-development, and then they're talking to the team. The good ones, right, it's very easy to know who are good. The ones who contact you and looking for business advice. Like, how do I talk to this prospect during this? Oh, I have an idea. Or, can we do a team event? Talk about business. They contact you. Instead of you chasing them, oh, how many people, are you bringing anyone to the meeting? They'll say, hey, Osman, I'm talking to 5 prospects now. These are the people. They're updating you. They're calling you instead you have to chase them. So those are the people that deserve. They're building. Right? If they just, and they could be the nicest people, but if they're not building, then it's not worth your time. Because I used to feel guilty about spending time with these people, like saying no to them. But what happens because our time is limited. If you spend time with these people, it's actually unfair to this person. This person invested in the business, trusted you to help them, and you're not helping them the way you should be helping them. So you're actually hurting that person. So once I start thinking that way, I don't feel guilty saying no to people now. When people complain, I don't reply to the emails. I used to reply to everything, I feel guilty. But because I was spending time replying to those emails, instead of replying to those emails, I could spend calling a 30-minute phone call, talking and mentoring one of my leaders instead. Mentoring this person. That person deserves that 30 minutes, not this person to reply to a stupid email. And why is my order late? Something like that. Okay. Does that help? Deserving?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're really looking for the next Osman. Anyone have to put, I used to come out, even when I was a silver, I was like, who's the next Simon? Anyone here can potentially make Simon. Because I'm a leader, I'm not going to quit, I'm very 100% in, I don't do any other things that other people do, I'm 100% committed. Do I see anyone that has my qualities? And then as you improve on your leadership experience, you end up attracting better and better people. And also when you get better, then your people get better, because you teach them more. They grow with you. All right, so we talk about mindset. So how do you build credibility, right? A lot of it is like taking action to change. Like change of social media, what do you post? Instead of posting on post food. Like, here's something, I see young people do this all the time. Okay, we're in the health and nutrition, right? But I see people posting great food or fried chicken wings. Now that is cool, but that doesn't build credibility to the business. You want to build credibility to the business? Instantly get people changing? Stop posting healthy foods. I bet you, if you're used to eating like what type of food? Boba tea, which is very bad for you, right? Boba tea, the boba like supposed to cause cancer, high fructose corn syrup, bad stuff, right? If all of a sudden you start posting 30 straight days of healthy stuff instead of the other food, I bet you your friends will notice and start asking you, what's going on? Why are you changing? Why you stop becoming healthy all of a sudden? They'll become interested in what you do. If you're used to posting like video games or movie links on Facebook, right? All of a sudden you change and start posting about self-development. It could be things you learn from the training, things you learn from my website, just post them up there. People are like, what happened to you? Why'd you change? They will start noticing. They'll start believing in the business. Because they see it in their eyes, they're changing. Also, like, if, for example, like if you needed to lose, some of your downline, maybe they need to lose weight. If you lose weight, what happened to you? They'll start seeing, because words don't mean anything. People believe on what they see. Right? They don't listen to words. People listen to actions. They see what you do. That's what gets people interested in the business. The more you change. By the way, speaking of sharing, somebody actually asked me this question. Like my stuff, my YouTube videos, you can freely share and post. I don't care. Like that's another mindset thing. Giving. You're a giver. You give. The more you give, the more you get back. So if you want to see links, you want to share, I don't care about, you can share whatever you want to do, post, share, copy, paste, I don't care. Right? It's giving. I'm not worried about piracy and stuff, just give, I don't care. Okay? So mindset, Chuck, that's basically it. People see you change. Now, it's also how you say it. Right? You can say, oh, I'm doing really well in the business. Or I'm doing really great instead of saying, I'm doing good in this business. I'm doing good in this business. right? Totally different. I'm doing good in this business, right? Totally different. Or someone says MLM doesn't work. You can say, well, MLM definitely works. Well, MLM definitely works. Right? When people say MLM doesn't work, I say, MLM definitely works, but you're right, it just doesn't work for people like you. Right? That's the way I say it. It's just like, oh, it doesn't work for people like you. The way you say it is what people buy. It's not what you say, it's how you say what you say. It's how you say it. And the biggest secret is, imagine you're Adam. If you're Adam, would you talk to your prospects differently? Let's say, Chuck, if you're Adam, would you talk to your prospects differently?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Why? Why would you be different if you're talking, if you're Adam?
Because he has credibility.
He has credibility. But that is all up here, right? You can start, if you start visualizing, right? Imagine, you visualize you're a lot older, 20 years older, and you're like Adam, sitting back, right? He's 18. He's the oldest looking 18-year-old I know. Oldest looking 18-year-old. So, if you imagine yourself, you're Adam, talking to your prospects, all your prospects, you never have this credibility problem. Never. Because people buy your confidence. When Mark Zuckerberg started Facebook, he's like, what, 20, 21? Right? When you try to get venture capitalists, get people to invest billions, do you think that, oh, I'm only 20-year-old people, these 40-year-old bankers are not going to respect me? No, because he's confident.
How to, when you're walking a room, how to assert, how to be calm, assertive, and have authority, so people immediately know that you're something without even saying anything. Like, that's how I perceive you.
Okay, when you go walk in a room, the first thing you walk in a room, you smile. Hey, how's it going? Hey, how's it going? Smile. People like to smile. Confidence not, I'm arrogant, I'm going to be like this assertive. Hey, how's it going? It's high energy. High energy. Most people out there, are they high energy or are they low energy?
Low. No.
Most people on the street are walking like this, right? Like this, right? They go walking from school, walking from class like this. So if you're high energy, that immediately is confident. You don't even say one word. Just smile, just walk with high energy. And people notice that. It's not the words you say, it's how you do the things you do. It's how, so you're confident. Right? You gotta think, you gotta do the opposite of what most people do. Most people go to class, they have a backpack on, they're going like this, they're running, they're stressed. You're confident. You're easy.
What is the difference between arrogance and confidence in this business?
Arrogance is, okay. What's the difference between arrogance and confidence? Huh? Yeah, I mean, arrogance is like putting people down.
Yeah.
And confidence, I'm happy with who I am. I don't put anyone down. Confidence, hey, I'm a winner, and you can be one too. Arrogance is, I'm a winner, but you're a loser. That type of attitude, right? I'm better than you. Confidence is we both can be good. We're both good. Maybe you're not that good enough, but we can help you both go up together. Arrogance is I'm better than you. Is that right? I think that's
Good.
right? Yeah. Does that help, Chuck?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I'm picking on Chuck. But it's good though. If I pick on you, that means you get lots of value. Okay? So today could be the turning point of your life.
It is. Thank you.
Okay? It's the way, you know, one way to see yourself is you want to record yourself. Right? When you want to record yourself, the way you sound, if you talk to your prospects, listen to how you sound. That's how you get better. That's what I record. I watch how I train, see how I can get better. And always learning. Always learning. Because why is reading books and learning important? How many of you actually learned something recently and you felt more confident? Right? You feel more confident. So it's like you're programming. When you read something new, you're happy. It's like, I shouldn't even talk about video games. So video games, you read a new strategy, and you feel more confident playing the game. Or basketball, you watch some highlights, you feel more confident. Right? You go to coaching, you feel more confident. So when you're learning, you feel more confident. That's why. But what makes you lose confidence? What makes you lose confidence? Discouragement. Where does discouragement come from? Negative people, right? So you get rid of these negative people. Get rid of them. Don't talk to them. You're on Facebook, people put negative stuff, delete it. Don't even look at it. Don't ever start typing in the Facebook stuff. There's like trolls, we call it, right? You know the term?
Feeding the trolls.
Trolls, right? They're trolls. You don't get rid of those trolls because they suck up your energy, suck up your time. Okay? Because trolls, first of all, you're never going to convince someone. On Facebook, you're not going to convince them. But it only makes you irritated, negative, angry. Negative. Sucks up your energy. So, let's see, we talked about how do you build trust? How do you build trust? Common interest, right?
Care about them.
You care about them.
Okay.
Care, right? The easiest way to, the first step to, actually, can I turn the projector off, Sydney? Okay, I'll turn it on later.
Image, or personal image.
If you're good, I'll show something special to you. So the first step to trust, this is all correct, is you be a good listener. So how can I care about you? How can I help you? If I can listen. So stop thinking about what you got to say about the products, business, and start focusing on listening to the person. Listening to this. So when you have a conversation, we're talking about lunch before, at the lunch meeting. Should be, you have a meeting with someone, you should finish eating before they do. Let them talk. You eat, you're hungry anyway, you get to eat, you ask questions, and they talk, you eat. You finish eating, but they talk first. And especially when you're meeting prospects, after they talk, you know their needs, what's going on, you keep asking questions, let them talk. And then, so you're eating. So after you finish eating, then you can start sharing. But you listen first. So once you listen, you find out what the needs of the person, then it's easy to go out and find ways to help them, so you build that trust. Most people, do they like to talk, or do they like to listen? Talk, right? People love to talk. So, I know, because I like to talk. But do most people let the other people talk? What do most people do? They cut the person off, right? Because I gotta talk, and you cut me off, especially when you're fighting. Everyone wants to say something, you keep cutting off, and the more you cut off, it gets worse and worse, right? So, if you want someone to like you, the simplest, very easy trick is you let the person talk. You just try to zip your mouth, let the person talk. The more they talk, wow, you're the coolest person. Right? You let them talk because no one else lets them talk. So if you let them talk, they feel good, they're happy. So people like people who make them happy. Right? So the communication skill, you let them talk. Because the more they talk, the happier they are. The happier they are, the more they like you. And when they like you, they start trusting you. Because you're the only person that actually lets them talk. The rest, because most people, they have so many stress, frustrations, they want to vent. But no one lets them vent. You go to an average university student, they have tons of things they want to share, right? But they go to the roommate. But the roommate wants to share, right? You always just want to talk. But no one lets them talk. So let them talk. And by talking, that makes them like you, and that builds trust. And trust is also with integrity. You do whatever you say, make sure you do it. If you can't do it, don't say it. Trust is also, you never say negative about people. It goes back to, if you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything. Because if you start talking bad about someone, so for example, Chuck, Jeff, Chuck is no good, blah, 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 Chuck is no good, Chuck no good, right? I'll tell Jeff, what does Jeff think? Jeff may think, when I talk to Roger, I actually may say bad things about Jeff too. Because whatever you do, anything is how you do everything. Okay? How you do something is how you do everything. If I don't talk bad about Chuck, Ashley will say, Simon may talk about us, bad about us, behind his back. Right? Because very rarely is someone just does something once. If someone does something, it's normally a reflection of them as a person. Right? So if I'm talking bad about Chuck, that hurts me. That doesn't build trust between Ashley and I. Because Ashley thinks I may talk, when I talk to Jeff, I may say bad things about Ashley. So easy rule, don't say bad about anything. Don't gossip, no negativity. So social media, Don't put negative stuff. No one wants to know about negative things. Right? Make people feel good. You want people to like your social media? Put stuff that makes people feel good. So if you look at my post, I don't know if you look at my post, there's always stuff that makes people feel good. People like things that feel good, because the rest of the world doesn't make them feel good. Right? Media. Right? Don't stop looking at the TV, news, and all that. Media, news, what is it? Positive or negative? Negative. 90% is negative. You take whatever newspaper out there, what is it, Melbourne, Sydney, LA, New York Times, all 90% is all negative. Right? So people are tired of hearing negative. So if you're positive and market, you talk about branding and market yourself, your name, be positive. Positive. One thing is, talk about mindset, attitude, right? Is stop listening to news and TV and all that garbage. Okay? Do you really need to know the news? By the way,
So like,
huh?
you need to, like, when you're prospecting, if they talk about a topic, you just follow up, or I heard that news before. It's like, you... Like,
So it's very simple, there's tricks, okay? There's tricks. So you can go to, for example, if you go to like, so what I read is, I go to USA Today, I look at the headlines. I basically know. So you can talk about any topic, I can talk about it. But do I need to know exactly the name of all the passengers on the Malaysian flight, where they're coming, how many were from China, how many were from... I don't need to know those details. I just know there's a plane missing, and Malaysian government sucks, they can't find it. Right? That's all I know. That's all I know. And it's somewhere in this ocean vicinity, there's the pictures, US, everyone's helping out, but I don't need to know the details, the people, family members crying, who was on board. Those things make no impact on my life, right? It doesn't help my son get better, it doesn't make them healthy, it doesn't make them rich, it doesn't. But I know the detail, I know the overall, so I can carry a conversation. So when you read this news, you want to know, you just read the headlines normally. The headlines and the captions are normally good enough. Okay, you don't need all the details. That's cluttering your mind. It's like learning the petrol stuff. Oh, you don't need to know those things. Think about this. Because you're still pretty young, but like 10 years ago, 5 years was major news, right? Do you remember all the details of those things that happened? No, because it adds no value to your life, right? But you know what happened, right? All the things you do, small little things you do, the video games you play when you're young, I don't remember any of it. Okay? You remember only big moments. So what I do now is I just spend my time of quality moments with people. I don't do these small little trivial things, because it adds no value. And actually, if you add up the time, it's a lot. So if you want to be able to carry a conversation, look at the newspaper, just look at the headlines. Headlines and the captions is good enough for you to be able to network a conversation. You don't need to know the details. It's like the NBA, right? Like I don't really follow the NBA, but I read the headlines. I do 10 minutes a day when I'm exercising. On ESPN.com, I know what players are decent. I could carry a 30-minute conversation about the NBA without knowing what's really is going on. But I know the main headlines. I know Phil Jackson went to New York, Carmelo Anthony. I know. I just read the headlines at ESPN.com, right? So but I'm not wasting my time spending hours every day reading every single article. That again is the media preying on you. They want to take your time, which is money. Okay, all the media, they're basically trying to steal your money because time is money. So every time you're spending on that, it's like me going to your bag and taking your money out. Right? When you spend time reading news, that's basically newspapers taking your money. Because when I'm spending time on ESPN reading the details, it's ESPN taking my wallet. Because that's how they make money. Because I'm spending time on it, actually that's how they make money. You spend time on a website, they show the advertisers assignment as you spend 5 minutes a day on my website so they can charge higher advertising rates. Right? So they're using me to make money. So I'm not going to let them do that. I'm going to use my time my time should be spent with my family, my sons, and also building a business. Right? Everything that takes your time is taking your money. Time is really valuable. I think you asked about time management, right, Virginia? So time is money. You have to treat time as someone taking your wallet. Seriously, if someone, like, some incoming message comes up there and you answer it, it's like someone taking your wallet, taking your money. Could be 25 cents here, 50 cents here, $1 here, $1 here, another minute here, and all of a sudden the rest of the day. Because why? All that time adds up, could be spent time prospecting. Finding the next Adam who's walking down the street. Right? There's another diamond, tons of diamond directors in Melbourne right now. This could be a diamond director in Box Hill who doesn't know about the business yet. But he's not in the business because you're wasting time. So, so time management, I'm very, very anal about the time. But does that make sense about the media? Okay. Media also is negative. What goes in your mind affects your mindset. Okay, so the more negative you are, like for example, fill in the blank. What doesn't grow on trees? Money. How did you know that? You're programmed to know that, right? Who says, so that's like money can grow on trees is a conception that money's hard to get. But for some people, money's very easy to get. Right? It's the way you're programmed. We did a whole very intense session yesterday about your beliefs about money impact whether you're going to become successful in this business or not. Right? Some of the things, talk about mindset, is the law of abundance. The tons of money. So how many of you have a difficulty in closing? Closing prospects, okay? Closing, a lot of closing has to do with, anyone here commerce major? Okay, commerce. You know more than I do, but. Well, you know more than I do in theory knowledge, not practical knowledge. It's interesting, a lot of professors that teach in school, they know a lot of theory, but they don't really know anything about practical. So, which doesn't take anything against them. They're good teachers. They could be good teachers, good researchers. And making money and being a good teacher is a totally different thing. So, this is called zero-sum game. You know zero-sum game? Zero-sum game is like a pie, right? Like, zero-sum game is kind of like the NBA is a zero-sum game. So how many NBA teams, for those who are not in basketball, there's 30 NBA teams, right? 30 NBA teams, 30 teams. How many teams per player? Maximum. 15. Come on, you're an NBA fan, you don't know that? 15 players per team. 12 on an active roster, 3 on the injured reserve. Okay? 15 players. So how many total players can be in the NBA? Total? 450, right? Maximum. No more than that. Unless the NBA has more teams. So 450. That means if I have a player, and this is one of the reasons why I hated the business. If I have a player to get into the NBA, that means someone must lose the job. Some very hardworking player will have to get cut and lose a job. Okay, every year, there's new players coming in, old players going. I think something like 70% of the NBA's turnover. You know the Kobe Bryant, the stars, but you don't know the bench guys. You don't even know how many players on the team. But 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, they get every year, they're gone. At most 3-year contract, they're gone. New player comes in, younger players come in. So this is zero-sum game, means the maximum is 450. No more, could be less actually. But if I want to get in, someone has to get out. So a lot of you, when it comes to closing, you have a zero-sum game mentality. See, the NBA is zero-sum game because the only way it can get more players, how can it get more players? Have more teams, right?
Yep.
You have more teams, the pie gets bigger. So that's a zero-sum. In our real world, economy, the pie is always getting bigger. Okay? It doesn't get smaller. Meaning that, in our business, why is the pie always getting bigger? Because there's more 18-year-olds. The fact there's more 18-year-olds born turn 18 every day, but they're not born 18 years old, they're born babies and they turn 18. That means there's more prospects. The pie is always getting bigger. There's more and more room for rank advancements, distributors. It's not like the NBA was fixed at 30 teams. Okay? Also, is there more and more money around? Right? There's more money, the economy's growing. So, a lot of times, how many of you actually have a friend who may be there because maybe in the uni they don't have much money? Right? And when you try to close them, you feel that they don't have the money and maybe they shouldn't be spending their couple of dollars they have to join the business. Right? Because if they get started, then they can eat, they can pay tuition, they can buy books, right? So that is why you haven't achieved success yet. Because successful people don't think like that. Let me add something. Do you believe this business and the products helps people?
Yes.
Right? Okay. You sure?
Sure.
Yeah? Okay. Okay, even before you say sure, your friends that don't have much money. Let's come up with a name, like, name a friend that doesn't have much money. What's the friend's name? Huh? Judy. Judy doesn't have much money, right? So you feel guilty that if she spends money on USANA, she won't be able to eat, she will be starving, she can't do anything else, right? Here's the reality. Number one, Judy is going to spend the money regardless of whether you get it or someone else gets it. Judy is going to spend it at eating. She's going to spend the money. Does it make sense? It's just like poor people. You know a lot of poor people, do they have cable TV? Yes? Shouldn't the poor people be investing and saving the money? Shouldn't they be using the money, maybe even get started in the business, or maybe saving for kids' tuition? Why are they wasting the money on cable TV? Well, they want to watch TV, right? The point is, if you don't get the money, the poor is going to spend, someone's going to take their money. If Judy doesn't spend the money on USANA, she's going to spend it shopping. She's going to do something, and she'll find a way to spend the money, right? So if you have a business that actually helps people, you might as well take that money and help them get started. Do people like some of your friends who don't have much money, do they have mobile phones?
Yeah.
Do you have nice mobile phones on them? Do they go shopping? Yeah? So you don't take the money for USANA, they're going to spend the money anyway. You're not helping them save money by, don't join USANA, it's very expensive. Because they're going to take the money and give it to someone else. And if you believe your opportunity business helps them, they might as well get started, give you the money to get started USANA. So you have a life change, instead of wasting the money on clothes and stuff that have no return on investment.
Yeah, people all overspend. Overspend.
People always overspend, exactly. There's some people that I gotta ask my parents for permission. Ever prospect ever have a prospect ask permission?
Yeah, always.
Always, right? I'm telling you, when was the last time? Do kids in university go party, have fun?
Yeah.
Do they ask the parents for permission? No, right? If you ask the parents what they should be studying 24 hours. They don't even do anything else. Right? Do the parents want them to be kids on Facebook? Do the parents want them to go karaoke? Do you want to go clubbing? No. Right? Do you go drinking? No. So they don't ask the parents for those things, so you don't need to ask the parents for this thing. And if they don't spend the money on USANA, they will spend the money on something else. Right? Number two is, you have no right to tell them, you have no right to say, hey, this is not good for you. You have no right to tell them what you should spend the money on. So Judy, not Judy, Kelly. So Kelly, you said your friend Judy. You have no right to tell Judy, oh, maybe she should save her money. Maybe. It's just like we have no right to tell the poor they should not watch cable TV. Maybe when you watch cable TV, since these poor people, a lot of them, they don't work, right? They may be up to 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, watch an infomercial, sees an Amway commercial, and gets inspired to do MLM, become superstar. Do we have the right to say that, oh, they're not allowed to have cable TV? Maybe they watch some cable TV show about some Donald Trump gets inspired and decides to change their life. Right? We have no right to tell people how to spend their money. You have no right to tell me, she has no money, I shouldn't close them. Your job in this business is getting results. Have there been poor people who are very successful? Like cool, give me an example. Oprah Winfrey, right? She was like a teenage mother, right? Had 14 years, she had a kid, right? Bill Gates, right? Actually, Bill Gates had money.
Your Philippine dollar.
Huh?
He had his mother gave him money.
Oh, money. I'm talking about people who don't have money. They're poor people, like Jay-Z. Jay-Z used to be a drug dealer, right? Right? So the fact that there's poor people become successful, you have no right to tell the poor, you can't spend money on this, you can't spend money on that. Maybe Jay-Z was doing drugs and saw TV, got inspired to be an entrepreneur. Right? We have no right. So our right, only thing we focus on is getting people to sign up, because our business can help them. Change their lives. You also assume, by the way, like when you talk about Judy, it's like, you assume that she can't get the money. How do you know maybe, right? Maybe she spends the money you saw her, and now she can't pay rent. But because she can't pay rent, she becomes very inspired to work hard in USANA business, becomes a diamond director. Maybe she spends the last money, she can't eat. She's eating the Nutri-Milk shake, right? Maybe she can get kicked out because she can't pay rent. But because she's kicked out, her parents yell at her. She gets angry. All of a sudden, focus on USANA, becomes diamond director just to prove her parents wrong. You don't know that. She could do that. You know there's people like that. Right? So we have no right to tell. You have to get over the mindset that the money can be replaced. You also have no right, you're assuming that when you sign your friends that they're not going to be successful already. How do you know they're not going to be superstar? So Judy, okay, she puts on credit card. She has no money now. How do you know she can't make the money back in the first month? You're automatically assuming she's a failure. What right do you have to judge her? Look down on her and say she's going to be a failure. Our only right and responsibility is to introduce the business and products to people. So that's why 90% of businesses are here. Mindset. There's a law of abundance. There's tons of money out there. Tons of money. Right? How many of you have iPads? How many of you know friends that have iPads? How many have friends that know they shouldn't have iPads, but they have iPads? Right? They spend the money. Right? The iPad, by the way, was launched in 2010. Did you know in like 3 years, they sold 170 million units of iPads? 170 million. Broke the record for most sales of any one product in the history of mankind. More than Coca-Cola, more than water, more than anything. 170 million units in 3 years. Right? And this was launched in the middle of the biggest recession in the US economy. Most of the sales come from US. Poor people, they have no money, they're losing jobs, but they still go buy the iPads. Right? So that's like Apple. Imagine what Apple said, oh, people have no money, let's not launch the iPad. We're in a recession now. So you have no right. There's a law of abundance, there's plenty. I was just showing the picture of ever heard of the Virtu cell phone, mobile phone? How much is the Virtu? You know Virtu cell phone, okay? How much is the Virtu mobile phone? 10,000 US for a mobile phone. It's not even like a smartphone, right? It's just gold plated. People have money. There's money out there spending stuff like that. It's just a simple fact. You have friends that shouldn't be buying things. They still buy stuff, right? It doesn't. No, they want to find the money. They can be borrowed the money, but the law of abundance. Again, we don't have the right. They may actually find jobs to pay it off. So our job, our role, share the products, share the business. You really believe that this is helpful for them, then you got to bring them into the business. So mindset, law of abundance, plenty for everyone. There's plenty of distributors. There shouldn't be anyone like fighting for downlines and so on, things like that. Okay, if anyone ever fights for a downline, could be another leg, another team, it's a scarcity mindset. There's plenty for everyone. Plenty for everyone. Teamwork is very important. Right? Teamwork. The more the team grows, the better everyone else is. So you shouldn't think, oh, this is my downline. You know, there's some people who are very calculative. Or like cheapskate. That's talking about mindset. Cheapskate. You know what cheapskate? People are very cheap with their money. Like 小气, very simple, right? 小气, right? Have you ever met anyone who's 小气, cheap, very, very successful, rich? No? No, you know the funny thing? The more cheap they are, they think that they're going to be cheap, they're going to have more money. But the cheaper they are, the poorer they are. Right? Because life is about money flows. And money goes to people who are giving. People like people who are givers, not cheap. And life, especially in this business, about networking. If you are cheap, people don't like you. That loses meaning, they trust. People don't trust cheap people. Do people trust cheap people? Right? So don't be cheap. Right? Be cheap not just with your money, but cheap with helping people. Doesn't matter, even if it's not your downline, you help. Right? I'll tell you a story. When I first started, now I'll admit that I actually didn't really know what was going on, but my mentor told me to do trainings. We had a teleconference in the US, because our team was throughout the US, so we do teleconference, not like a meeting. And he would have me speak. And 95% of the people were not my downline. And I was like a silver director at the time. I was 6 months in the business. Became silver, 6 months, I became silver. Then I'll do every Saturday, I'll speak. So I only have like 5 downlines. Sometimes if I'm lucky, I'll get 10 people on my downline to go there. Because it's on Saturday morning. It was 8 a.m. early. But this is when I was single, so I was go out party, whatever, come back. Sometimes go back home at 4 in the morning, 3 hours, and go on a conference call to speak. And I was just doing this practice. So you add it to by the way, everything counts. Everything you do counts and makes you better. The good, the bad will make you better. Okay? Especially the bad. If you think back where you are right now, the turning points in your life, whether in school, whatever, where you are, big turning points, how you grew as a person, was all because of bad time, a bad moment, something bad that happened to you. But you learned from it. And that's why you're better. So when there's something bad, what happens? It's a learning experience. Or maybe you were pushed outside your comfort zone. You don't want to do a testimonial. You don't want to speak in public, but you're stressed. Or in school you have to do a project you don't want to do. Those are the moments that made who you are. So I knew that. So I would speak. To me, it was like free training. I would speak. I'll get better as a speaker. So I always spoke and helped out the team. Okay? And most of them were cross line. So I went to my first convention, and I only had 3 people in my downline at the convention. I still remember. I went to there, and then at convention you wear a name badge, and then they'll say, the people that don't know, and I was my downline, 3 of them, right? So they'll follow me. It's very easy when you only have 3 downlines. It's not like picking a big group. You just say, hey, you can almost like hold hands, right? Let's go. So be like, oh, so you're Simon Chan. Hey, how's it going? Good job on the training class. Who are you? Oh, how's it going? We see each other on the telephone list, but we never met face to face. Oh, how's it going? Hey, Simon, thank you for the calls. Hey, okay, how you doing? All of a sudden, that is, and then what do you think of my downline perception of me when they saw that happen?
Impressed.
Right? And then I was like, so I know that time my downline was skeptical because I was really new. I wasn't making that much money, right? So we talk about belief, credibility. But all of a sudden, they saw, oh, Simon, thank you for the trainings. At least 10 people came up to me. My downline was with me. His impression of me totally changed. So, oh, Simon, actually. So right after that, by the way, that same downline was the same guy who used to get drunk. Okay? He sponsored one person, one BC, first 6 months in business. Right after the convention, within 2 weeks, sponsored 4 people. Okay? That's why going to events are so important. You gotta go to events. Celebration, you must go to events. I don't know what happened to the event, but it was a turning point for him. So he immediately became Simon. So that was when I realized, oh, that is why my mentor had me speak on those calls. Okay? I gave up my time, but the more you give, the more you get back. That was the turning point for my downline. Because he said, well, Simon actually should listen to him. A lot of people respect him. He started becoming proud of our team. He said, Simon, let's make this big. Before he wasn't that excited. Let's make this big. Let's do it together. That's when he caught the vision. Okay? Now, it wasn't just that. It was a combination of going to the convention and everything. But having people edify me, recognize me, build the belief in my team. So that's why everything you do, whether you, thanks to people like Sydney or like Jeff setting up being MC, all those things make a difference. The reason I'm where I am is because I've done all the small little things. And every little thing you help the team, you can't say, oh, I don't benefit, I don't have downlines. That's cheapskate thinking. It's just cheap, right? You're a giver. Everything you do, like Jeff spoke as MC, right? Years from now, you'll remember that. Years from now, he's going to be a great speaker. That's actually one of the first turning points. Everything you do counts. Setting a projector, those are all responsibility, but that teaches leadership. Because most people in the world, do they take responsibility? They have no responsibility, right? They can barely take care of themselves. Right? Most people can't even take care of themselves. They can't even show up for things on time, right? So by taking small responsibilities, it develops you as a person. And then you mark, and then on social media, they see you change. They see you speak to people differently. You're more confident. That's how you market yourself. Which is like the second step is marketing. You have to have mindset. Number 2 is marketing. Which is basically how to build your list. Okay? Building your list. How do I add people to my list every day? It could be social media. It could be meeting someone online. It could be meeting someone in the cafeteria. Every day, working on building a list. Now, when you build your list, my style is I don't necessarily like to prospect the person right away. I like to build a relationship, get to know the person, and you can build a relationship different ways, online, offline. After we build trust, then I prospect and bring up the business. Okay, much easier to do that way. Now there are some people that just meet a stranger, would you like to earn some extra income? Like that. Like they call it a shotgun approach. Shotgun, just keep shooting shots, right? But that's very tiring, for me, that's very tiring. Much easier to build a relationship. And then you prospect. So we talked a lot about marketing. Next is prospecting. Prospecting. So prospecting, there's tons, the law of abundance. There's tons of prospects for everyone. You can't be chasing people. How to follow up with someone? Who asked this question? Virginia? Who asked this question about follow up? Well, how to follow up with someone who doesn't call you back?
Means like you already know the business, but you want to follow up them. Like they know the business, they didn't join, and how do I follow up them?
So they didn't join. So very simply, the easiest way to save time, avoid confusion, weird feelings, be very direct and ask the person. Okay? So I'm gonna actually, before I answer the question, have you ever had a friend who you shared the business and then you call them and they can't get hold of them? They don't return your call? They don't return a text? Why do you think they don't return your text, return your call? They're scared of you, right? They're scared of you. So all of a sudden they think it's all about this business, they're scared of you. So to get around that, it's very simple. You call them, you send them a text, you tell them, hey, so for example with Iris, right? The Iris, our friendship means more than anything. I don't want this USANA business to affect our friendship. If you want interested, yes. If you're not interested, I'm very happy to. Just tell me no, and I won't bring it up ever again. I just want us to be friends. Is that okay? Okay? You understand that? Hey, our friendship means more than anything. I don't care if you join or not. If you join, yes, good. If you don't join, still good. Can we still just be friends and not be friends and we can hang out? Okay? When your prospects hear that, how do they feel?
Relax.
Relieved, relaxed. Because they're always worried that every time you call them, because the reason they're not replying, they're afraid that every time they're going to try to get them to use on again, right? We try to get them in. So by sharing that, they think, wow, okay, Iris is not going to bring it up again. I'm telling you, your prospects who are not interested now, they may be interested later on. But unless you end with a good closure like that, they will never be interested because they'll never communicate with you again, and the relationship's forever severed, ended. You got to maintain that relationship. And easiest way is to say, hey, if you don't, the magical words is, our relationship is most important. And you can say whatever you want. The relationship is most important. The second thing is, if you don't join, I'm still happy. Because most people, they say, if you don't join, what? How come you're not happy? You want me to join. So you shock them. You surprise them. If you don't join, I'm still happy. But I just want to be friends. And then later on, if you follow that, sooner or later, they'll be interested later on. Actually, if you do that, they have a chance to be interested later on. But if you end it like awkward, they will never, number one, they will never be in touch with you again, right? And number two, even if they want to be interested later, they won't be interested because they feel that they have, what you did to them, they have to do to their friends. They're afraid of losing their friends. So if you end on a good note, you think, oh, this business is simple. They're not interested, we can still be friends. I'm not going to lose my friends because of the business. Does that make sense? You have like a confused look.
No.
Or you think about the mistakes you made. No, it's okay, your friends who don't, no, you know that your friends that don't, who haven't got in touch, you message them, say, hey, our friendship is more important than anything.
No, my friends run away. I asked, why did you disappear? Means you disappeared, didn't like sit down to have a talk, asking me that you want to join, you don't want to join, and then it just ran away and disappeared. It just takes like, when she went home, I didn't know, and then you didn't send me back the message for a week already.
Yeah, so, right. Because they're scared that you're going to bring up USANA again, right? They're scared. So tell them, our friendship means more than anything. Just, if you don't join, I'm still very happy. Just tell me no. I won't bring it up. We'll still be friends. And then your friend will be relaxed. You'll be friends again. Trust me, it works. And then when you meet them, of course, don't bring it up again, okay? Because you'll be lied to them, right? So just be normal. If you're positive, they will actually be interested. They'll actually be interested that, wow, you actually, don't care if I join or not. They actually want to spend time with you. And then if you change, eventually they will become interested. So why are you changing? How did you change? What's this? They will want to learn more. So getting back to you, if they present it and not interested, just say, hey, you know what? Is it okay if I follow up with you 3 months from now and see whether next it will be a better time for you?
Asking that question, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very direct. So it's okay you're not interested, but can I follow up with you 3 months from now to see whether you'd be interested in it? By the way, the longer you stay in the business, the easier it gets. Why? Because every 6 months, people are in transition. So, for example, someone new who just came over from China is a university student. He's happy to be a university student, right? He's got pressure from home to study hard. He's not going to be interested. Then 6 months from now, he realizes, oh, I'm free, I'm away from my parents, and it's good, and I hate school sucks. I don't see a future. Then when you talk to them, they'll be open. Even the same thing with a job. Your friends, if you're working, like baby boomers who have a job, I'm telling you, baby boomers, we first get a job, we're excited. 6 months later, they got a 5% raise. They're happy. They got a nice computer, everything. 6 months later, they realize they got a 5% raise, but they're working 20% more. They have to work weekends. They're not going to be happy. And they'll be more open to opportunity. You give them another 6 months, then they really hate the job. And most people in Australia, how quickly is the turnover for jobs? 2 years? In the US, it's every 2 years, 3 years, people switch jobs. Every 2 years.
Young people change it more frequently.
Even more frequently. So the transition time even quicker. So young people, by 1 month, they hit the job already. So that when the people who are looking for change are the best prospects. When your friend just got a job, probably bad prospect. Wait 1 month, they hate the job, good prospect. That's why you have to maintain the relationship. You can't end on a bad note. Because they're not interested, they're excited. You maintain a relationship, they'll become interested later on. So, go ahead.
Yes, and I said that to my friends, and it's okay if you don't join, I just want us to be friends. And then I don't know how to bring it up again.
Okay.
Because I said
So
that
when did you say that?
around 3 months ago.
Okay, so are you good friends with, so it's worked.
And
Right.
I'm still friends with them.
So it worked.
Yeah.
So you see, it works. Right, good. So now, do you see them, could they benefit from the business?
Yeah, because they're looking for a job.
So ask them. So very simple, okay? So if they're looking for a job, looking for a change, a lot of it is just, don't be scared, just ask them, right? Don't be scared of the no. If you're scared, so just asking them, can I follow up with you 3 months from now? That's very simple, right? Don't be afraid, no. If they say no, then no. There's plenty of people out there. There's the next Osman walking on Box Hill right now. Go sign them up. There's plenty of people. So Virginia, your situation, I'd be very direct and say, would you be, if they're looking for a job, I know you're looking for a job, would you be open to taking a look at USANA again? That's it. If they say no, then okay, no problem. Simple, just ask. Don't pressure them. If you want to go to this meeting, would you be open to looking at USANA again? I know you were not interested before. And you can share about your growth. I'm very excited. I like the business. Very excited. But would you be interested in looking at it again? Okay? Helpful?
Yes.
So use that. Really important. They really work for Virginia. Two of our friends. So.
I had a friend that, sorry, I had a friend that was doing a business before, and like you said, get a relationship first, and then to his prospects. But then he was afraid that other people might take that prospect away from him while he was building the relationship. So he gets eager to make the prospect right away.
So he's prospecting someone, is afraid that some other distributor will take him away.
Yeah.
Okay? Do you know the other distributor?
No.
Okay. So, if you're afraid they're going to take the distributor away, your relationship is not as good. The person, the distributor is going to end up joining the person who, number one, feels that they can help them. So you should see it as a motivation to improve yourself, right? So if I'm gonna join between like Judy or Ashley, I'm gonna join the one that I feel that can help me more.
But you never bring up the business in the first place because you're still building that relationship.
I see. I see. How long have you known this person?
I don't know. This is okay. Like for example's sake, let's just say.
You're thinking about hypothetical situations.
it's not me. It's my. It's a partner that I had before. That was a problem that he had. I don't know if I had the whole situation. This was a long time ago.
So I'd be very direct. Say, hey, you know, I found out. Oh, okay, so something like that. If I found out, like, just say, I'm building a relationship with you,
Yeah.
and I found out Osmond. You know, I don't know Osmond is talking to you about you saw him, right? I say, hey, you know, we don't really know each other that well, but I know you've been talking to Osmond about this business. I'm actually trying to be a distributor too. You know, is this something you're seriously considering? And just ask him if he says, I'm really considering it. Then if he says, no, I'm not considering it, you have nothing to worry about. If he is considering, so what? Then I said, what makes you interested? I mean, are you interested in the business? I'll try to find out more.
Okay.
And if it's like really, like Osmond's been spending time prospecting you, you should really let that person go. Ultimately, it's you to decide who to join. I think, you know, ultimately, I'm in the business as well. I don't work directly with Osmond, but like, it's your decision. You want to join Osmond, you can join me. That's totally up to you. Okay? And I will have a talk with Osmond. Just let him know if you want to take him, go take him. Ultimately, it's your decision. But I would not fight that. You never say bad things about Osmond. I would never say bad things. I say, it's up to you. I always think about what's best for that distributor, what's best for that person. You know, because there's plenty of distributors out there. I would never badmouth someone. If he feels it's better to join Osmond, then go ahead and join Osmond.
Yeah, the reason that we usually think the common sense of people put a lot of pressure on prospecting. You know, you should come in for the meeting. You should come and join me. You know, because they have a very small name list.
Yeah.
Too concentrated. You know, if they have a large name list, they're very relaxed.
Yeah. So you have to go and goes back to your the marketing. You got to build your list every day. Okay. Don't stop building your list until you ran out of people to talk to, right? Because then you become desperate, and the more you chase them. So every day, go meet some new friends. That's why this business is fun. It's about meeting friends. Go meet new people. Add them to your list. Okay. Develop the relationship. If you need more people, call random people. Go get a phone book. Call people. If you want to call people, by the way, I've had, not just in the US, in my coaching group, this woman, she needed prospects to call. I said, stop complaining, just go call a phone book. She called a Sydney business pages and set up 3 appointments with 3 hair salons. Right, so there's no excuse. There's tons of people out there who are open-minded. You have no one to call. Call a phone book. Is it scary? Initially, it's kind of scary, right? But you get used to it. But really, after a couple of times they say no to you, this is the same. You call a person, hey, I'm working for an American company, we're looking to expanding, we're interested in people who want to earn some part-time income. Would you be interested? No. Okay, bye. Next one. Hi, I'm working for an American company, we're looking for people who want to earn some part-time income. Do you know anyone's interested? No. Okay, just keep doing it, saying the same words. You want to call university? Same. Hey, we're looking for students, right? University students who want to earn some part-time income. We work for an American company. Do you know anyone who's interested? That's the same. You keep calling. I bet you call 20 people, 1 or 2 will be interested. Say, what is this about? Right? Simple. And you get good at that, I'll tell you, if you get good at that, signing up warm markets is very, very simple. And it's actually good exercise. Because then when you deal with that type of rejection, other rejection is very simple. Oh, your friends? Oh, okay, don't worry, at least we're friends. And also, you gotta have so many leads. See, what happens is, the reason why you put pressure, all that stuff is because like Alex, you don't have enough people to talk to. You should have so many people to talk to that you're stressed and overwhelmed. You know, I gotta call this person. I gotta follow up here. I gotta follow up here. So every day you got people to call, texting, reply to emails, right? So many. And you're not interested? Great. I'm actually, sometimes when people are not interested, I'm actually happy. Because I have 3 other people I need to call before the next hour. I'm also stressed and I have to pick up my son and all this stuff, right? So good, you're not interested, I don't need to call you again. Let me call the next person, knock them off the list. But I actually don't prospect much now, I'm like retired, but I was doing webinars for my downline. I sponsored someone, became a platinum paid setter in 5 weeks, very, very good. So, we're going through it. I want to know fast. No, I don't want to be wasting time. So if they're not interested, we did a 3-way call, not interested, great, let's move on. I don't want to do a webinar and stuff like that for the person. I'd rather get the no right away, because I don't want to do a webinar. So I'm like lazy. I don't want to do a webinar meeting. Just tell me, get the person no. When you finally get one, then I will do the webinar for the good prospect. Okay, so it's about eliminating, sorting. My philosophy is tell me yes, tell me no, but tell me fast, because I have to go. Okay? You want to get through the no's, because they are yeses. That's what the phone book actually is good at cold calling. It's very good. You go through 10, 20, you get someone. And it works. It works in the US, it works in the city. I have 2 of my coaching members, they've been doing it in Sydney, just cold calling. And they set up meetings. And then so when they're friends, every day they have a quota. I want to make so many phone calls. And also, these are baby boomers, not baby boomers, Gen X. So they have families and kids. So when people say no, it's good. Because they have to they put a quota. Every day I'm going to make 20 phone calls. And they still have to pick up the son from school and all that. So they want to go through the list fast. So if you say no, to them it's actually relief. I can hurry up and finish the calls before I have to pick up my son. That's the mentality you gotta have. Because when you have that, so many people to talk to, you're not desperate for people, right? Yeah, you're not pushy. You don't put the high pressure. So let's talk. Baby boomers are customers. How do you talk to baby boomers? Okay, if you want to talk to baby boomers, obviously I'm an expert. I'm a baby boomer, right? But you have to, before you talk about whether Gen X or baby boomers, learn about them. What are they concerned about? Most baby boomers are more concerned about health. You lead with health. Most people like my age, you want to get them interested, you talk about time with the kids. That'll get them interested. It's not about buying Ferrari, nice cars, spending time with kids. Most people like 30s, 40s, they have actually been betrayed by the corporate myth, by the corporate lie. They thought that they get an MBA, they work for a company for 15, 20 years to be a VP. They realize they're stuck in management, maybe senior manager, can't go up, but they're working 6, 7 days a week, long hours. They want to spend time with the kids. That's what attracts them. Baby boomers, quality of the supplements, testimonials. And whatever you know, if you want to get talk to baby boomers, you have to get good at talking about the products. Like Adam is very good at talking about products. When we're driving, he was talking to a customer in China. He was listening. Very good. Like he's like a doctor. He's very good. He's not a doctor, but he sounds very, right? You gotta be very good at it. And if you want to be good at the products, you know what you do? You read the book, The Comparative Guide to Nutrition. The thick one, not the small one, the thick one. That book is like the most boring book in the world. I mean, I can read quickly, but business books I can read very fast, speed reading. But that book, I could read only 3 pages at one time, and I have a headache. Okay? So that was like 75 pages. I think it took me like 20, 30 days, 1 month to read that book. But I probably understood only 20%. Then I reread it again. But if you want to get customers, you read that book, you start getting good at the products. There's a good product training. And then you become familiar with the product catalog. You read the product catalog. You know what the product does, the ingredients. If you want to get baby boomers, you have to have some type. Otherwise, the problem is you're young. So baby boomers, oh, you're young, what do you know about products? You're like the doctor, right? But that's your mindset. If you know it, if you know the stuff and you talk confidently, then you'll be okay.
But if they are not customer, they are the associate, then they want to do business, how can I coach? Because I'm young, and I don't know how to coach them like they're about 40 to 50 years old. It's very hard for me to guide.
So you want to coach them. It's the same as the skills are the same. The skill is the same skills. Prospecting, mindset, marketing, prospecting. The only difference is like the older ones, 40s to 50s. But a 40, 50 is not baby boomers. Okay, that's a Gen X almost. Okay, I'm Gen X. So the skills are the same. The only difference is they may not be able to do a lot of social activities. So you want to have fun and stuff like that, but they're busy with their families. You don't have time. So when they do meet with you, you got to be very right into business. Not like small talk, have fun, all that stuff. Because you're young, you have the time. They don't have the time. Like if I'm any of my friends my level, we do training. It better be very serious training. Give me the training because I don't have time to chit chat and all that stuff. So the way you treat the business, the way you do your business is different. But the skills are the same. Because the skills, doesn't matter how old you are, it's still about prospecting, training, following up, leadership. If you want to know what they do, easy way to just get a book about Gen X or baby boomers. Right? That's how I learned about Gen Y. I went to Amazon with 3 books on Gen Y. How to market to Gen Y. There's another book called Power X or something like that, some book, Power Y, something like that. And I read the book, learn about what Gen Y, what they like to do. Gen Y's don't like to talk on the phone, they like to text. And, you read these books and you learn. So, for example, if I'm calling someone, the downline, I expect the downline to call me back, right? Because that's the people I deal with. If I call Gen Y, they may not call me back. They may text me back. That would annoy me. But once I read the book, I understood, okay, that's how Gen Y communicates. But I still make them call me. But I won't get it when a few times they text me, I won't get annoyed because then I know that's the culture. It's just like going to any new market, you gotta learn the culture. Right? If you want to go to Indonesia, you gotta learn the MLM culture there. Go to China, it's done different. What's the culture? So learn about what the baby boomers are, or the Gen X, go buy a book about it and read about them. What are the worries? What are the concerns? What do they get excited about? Okay. For Gen X, most of the worries, like they can have a secure retirement. We will work for 15, 20 years, and most people can't even buy a house. Right? So now they worry they can work only 20 more years, they have to be retired. How long do they have to work? There's nothing for the children. Those are the fears. Which is different. I mean, Gen Y, you talk about that, but for Gen X, it's closer to reality. Because for us, it's only 20, 10 years is the retirement. For you, go out 30, 40 years, it seems like eternity. Even though you talk about it, financial freedom is so far away. For Gen X, it's more urgency. It's more like desperate. You're urgent, we gotta do something now. So that's why the training's gotta be more serious. But I don't have much time. If I'm doing a training on Saturday, it's better be really serious because I'm sacrificing my time to take my kids to a football game, to be here. Okay? It's just like Gen Y, you hang out to 11, 12 o'clock. Gen X, the training better be starts at 7, their starting time and end by 9. So I gotta go home and you see the kids. Yeah. So you run it differently. But go get a book or two about it, it would be helpful. You learn more about what they did. I read the book, I think it was called it's on my iPad, but there's one great book, was so, it wasn't that great, but I learned one thing about it. And in any book, you learn one thing that's worth it. So the one book talked about the different generations, the mentality, right? You have to learn what they go through. You have to understand the way they're raised, and then you have a better idea. So for example, like my grandparents' generation, like during the World War II generation, people, especially Chinese, okay, for all type of ethnicities, especially for Chinese, you grew up in China, Hong Kong, they were poor, especially from China, very poor. So people like my grandfather, they were poor. So if you get like peanut butter, if anyone eat peanut butter, what they do is they'll scrap every little inch of peanut butter out, right? Everyone, right? And afterwards, what do they do? Huh? Put water in to clean the jar and use the jar for something else, right? The flower pot, right? You know family, relatives, grandparents like that? Because that time they grew up very poor, they say that, right? Now, the baby boomers, then the next generation, they're wealthier. Or maybe like your parents, they had opportunities. So they just scrapped by, but they wouldn't necessarily clean the jar. They'll still scrap and save, but the jar, we're not going to clean it, do all the work and throw it away, right? Then when you get the younger generation, like it's about time. I just finished it. I'm not going to spend the time scrapping. I'm just going to throw it away, buy a new one. Because the time is more valuable. Because now we have internet, TV, everything's going on. The time is so valuable. We're not going to scrape the jar. We'd rather, if it's almost done, to throw it away and buy a new one. Because the cost to buy a new one is easier and cheaper than scraping. Because that's just about 3 different generations. So if you know where they were brought up, you have a much better way of connecting.
How about the Western people and the ABCs people? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, so what about them?
The culture is different.
Oh, culture is very different. So I'm like an ABC, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of different because I can speak Chinese, so I'm a little different, right? But
Yes.
I'm ABC, I'm Americanized.
So how do you create a culture that fits the Western people? Because I haven't seen many Western people in Australia, especially in Melbourne, doing the business.
Okay,
Now
so
they're more ABC.
okay, so ABC and UFI is different, right?
No, I'm not talking about ABC. I'm talking about ABC and the Western people.
Well, ABC and Western people are different.
Yeah.
right? They're different. They're not the same,
Yeah.
right? I'm an ABC, I'm American born, not
Yeah.
Australian born. I'm very different from like, American. Normally ABCs, like we are ABCs, okay? We're like lazier than the immigrants. Like you guys are from China, we're easier, lazier. Like my parents were immigrants, I'm way lazier than my parents. Like I work hard, my parents used to work way, way harder, right? So until recently, I started working hard. But until I was like, until I started doing USANA, then I started working hard. But before I was in college, I was told like to play basketball, video games. I definitely wasn't working hard. But they're different. ABCs, Westerners do track them. They don't. If you do like a UFI thing, they wouldn't relate to this because it's too Chinese for them, right? So much you want to create a group, it's tough. It's almost sometimes you have to create a separate group. Good. Otherwise, if they see too many Asians, they get turned off, right? That's actually main complaints about like. So one of my mentors, what he did was not the different ethnicities, but different age groups, different careers. So he would have like a 6-figure club. He had people who have professionals, right? And then he had the rest of the group. And the professional group would never go to the same training, or sit together with the rest of the group. Different business meetings, different trainings. Because a doctor is very excited, interested in the business. But if the doctor is sitting next to a janitor, the doctor's like, what type of business is this? Why should I be here? Right? And not to say janitors are bad, but the perception, doctors are something very arrogant and arrogant, right? Like, I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer, what am I doing with this teacher here? What am I doing with this, right? So you put all those professionals, like the engineers, accountants, doctors, they had a separate own business presentation, right? And then the rest of the group would be separate. But it was a lot of work, but you don't mix them. Huh?
So you would recommend segregation for?
If you get bigger, but later, depending how big your team is. But for your situation right now, you just need to sponsor people. You're thinking too many. I know you're a thinker. You like to think, questions, analytical, right? You're thinking way too much. This business is, the more you think, I was just talking to Adam, right? The smarter you are, you can be too smart for this business. You don't need to be, you just need to open your mouth and talk. That's what you need to do. So like the question you're bringing up is not even, in your situation, not even relevant. Just talk to people and bring them in. So sometimes you kind of overthink things. Oh, what's going to happen in this scenario when I get so big? What's going to happen? It's like, you know, like my first time I sponsored my friend who was like she used to like to party. I spent like an hour and a half with him to explain the pay plan on the phone. I was like, I thought you were like drunk, you hung over, you remember. I just explained to you, just sign up someone and you realize how it works. But how does this PC2 work? Like, I was like about to smack him in the face. Okay, like, just go and sponsor someone because you never understood how the pay plan works, right? Carry over left leg, right leg, right? When you actually do it, then you see the points come in, then it makes sense. And just go do it. Don't think, you don't need to think that much. Let's see. Build trust, we talked about follow-up, we talked about holidays. Right? Talk about holidays and lead, talk to baby boomers, credibility. What's this? Divide time. We'll talk about dividing time. So holidays. The holidays are tough because people want a holiday. One way to do holidays is, so in the Philippines we did this, is to do an event. To do an event during that holiday time. What's the toughest part? Like in December, you're saying, or during first month of January?
Both. Like people or some people are going back to like China.
Okay, so in January you have the celebration. So you really don't need to do an event in January because you have celebration. It motivates people like mid-January. So what you can consider doing is do an event in December, like a rah-rah motivation team event, retreat event. I don't know. Do you guys do retreats?
Yes, sir.
Sometimes. So you do a retreat in December to get people fired, accountability, dream building, accountability, goal setting, rah-rah, feel good. Just a retreat, having fun. So right like maybe mid-December, right before they go break during the holidays. So when they go to the holidays, at least they're fired up. Okay, accountability too. So instead of doing your goals on January 1st, you do it in December. So you get a head start to the year. That's really the only thing you can do because it's emotional, it's a business, like emotional business, right? once you go home, they're gonna relax, but you can send them all fired up.
Sorry.
So we did that in the Philippines. December, because in December, there's no business in December in the Philippines, because everyone's holiday, things like that. You know, I mean, the culture of the Philippines is most employers have to give 1 extra month's salary in December. I don't know, that's actually interesting. They give an extra month's salary in December, because that's like the Christmas gift bonus in December, so you can buy more gifts for the family. So everyone's either celebrating parties or shopping. So we have to do an event to keep people fired up.
So what happened if, like, for example, your team goes overseas for a month, and then they come back, right? And then usually what happens is they lost the momentum, they lost the motivation, and in that time, what would you do to help them to pick up the momentum back?
Could you do something while they're there, like a weekly call?
Yeah.
So you could do a weekly call, like a weekly Skype call, WeChat call, whatever you use, right? A webinar. Okay, weekly. And not everyone will show up. But the ones who are serious, they will show up. At least you're feeding them. Oh, what time do we have to, Adam? I just want to.
We let this for up to 5 o'clock,
Okay, so,
but we can stay a bit late. It's okay.
okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to do some, who wants to really grow their business? Get some good advice. All right? So I need one volunteer. Come here. All right, you come here. So we'll take turns. And you stay there. We'll get a chair up for him. We're gonna sit here, and then you can ask questions, ask me questions, or I ask you questions. We'll give you time. Okay? So, first of all, what's your name and how long have you been in the business?
My name is Jacko, and I've been in the business for about 1.5 years.
Jacko? Chow?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, we met. Okay. How's it going? How's it going? We met on Facebook, the first time in person. Okay, Jacko Chow, good. So you are an achiever.
Silver.
Silver now, okay, good. And you've been in this for 1.5 years?
Yeah.
Good. When did you become silver?
When?
When?
Last 1 years ago. Couple-
Weeks ago.
yeah.
Okay, good. So what are some challenges you have? What do you want to ask me? Or
Sometimes you want to do something, but you're actually not doing.
so you're saying you want to do something, or you're not doing, or you
Yeah.
want to do something?
Yeah, say I supposed to make 10 calls, but I only did 2.
Okay. Why did you make 2? Why? Is it because it ran out of time, or you just didn't do them?
I just didn't do it.
Okay. So what did you do with your time?
Relax.
I wasted it.
Okay. So what did you do? And what do you mean by wasting?
Yeah, I watch a lot of self-development,
Okay.
but I didn't actually apply the knowledge.
Okay. So when you make your phone calls, are you making them throughout the day, or are you
Anytime.
anytime, right? So my first advice is like you set, and everyone should take this, is like you set a specific time for prospecting. Okay, so that is easier. So meaning you schedule the prospecting time. So every day, what's a good time for you to prospect?
Peak hours.
So when is a good time for you to prospect? Like, I'm not talking about peak hours, like you have the time, you just schedule
5 to 6.
5 to 6. So can you make 10 phone calls from 5 to 6?
Yeah.
Okay? It's actually kind of hard. If no one picks up the call, it's done in 10 minutes. But if people pick up the phone, so 5 to 6. So you should go out there, the minimum what you can do, you can do this, do today at 5 to 6, you right?
Yeah.
5 to 6, you want to get 10 phone calls by 6 o'clock. Okay? And you put yourself in a place where you are not distracted. And so when you say you want to make 10 phone calls, you only make 2. Do you talk to 2 people, by the way, or it's just like, don't pick up?
Yeah, talk to
So don't talk to you. So is it because it's not because of lack of time, it's because you get distracted.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe, or-
Sometimes.
Sometimes-
Sometimes I get distracted, sometimes I say, oh, I talk to these two people and one at a time.
Okay. So the first thing is when you talk to someone, you set a limit how much time to talk. There's some people who like want to be professional friends, professional talkers. You know, you have friends like that, you just want to talk on the phone all the time, talk for 1 hour and you still haven't brought up the business. That's no good, right? So a good thing is at most 20 minutes. Okay? 20 minutes. Again, you invite them to the meeting. So talk to them, talk for 17 minutes, 18 minutes, and then you invite them to the meeting. I actually prefer less, but you want to put yourself in a let's talk about the distraction problem. The lack of time problem is you set a time limit. Because even if you call 10 people, very rarely you're going to talk to one 10. Chances are you'll probably talk to 2 or 3,
Yeah.
right? So don't worry about the lack of time, because you can talk to 2 or 3 people in 1 hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? So it's not like, I mean, if you actually said, Simon, I talked to 10 people, right? That's a great problem. If you can call 10 phone calls and actually get a hold of 10 people, that's great. But when was the last time that happened? Doesn't happen. So the distraction problem, find a place where you are isolated, where you can make the calls. Okay? So when you're calling, what are some of the obvious distractions? Computers. Well, what are distractions for you?
Girls.
Go ahead, girls.
No, probably boys. Both, but sometimes boys. I don't know, Thai or not hungry for food, so yeah.
Okay. So
Maybe a little bit.
So when you make your phone calls, where do you normally make them?
When?
I'll tell you somewhere. I'll tell you something. Okay. You find a place that's isolated to do your work. So for me, this is what I do now, right? Because I have like 3 kids. I have a dog.
Yeah.
I send my kid to school, Ethan, and then my baby's at home. Okay. I realize I cannot do good work, high productive work. So for me, it's like I write my newsletter, my blog. I cannot write at home because I'm always worried my dog's gonna bark while my kid's sleeping, my baby's sleeping.
Yeah.
Right? Like, my dog wants to like go on my lap and work. So it's okay, he can go on my lap and work. But once he hears my mother-in-law in the kitchen, he wants to jump down and run to the kitchen, think there's food. Because my mother-in-law like exposing with little fruits and stuff like that, right? And so then I'm concentrating, and then after there's no food, he's like, I hear whining my door, he wants to come in again. It's really distracting, annoying. So I put myself in a situation, right, where I work now, is I do all my good work in my car. I drive my car, I have to drop off my son, I live right by a park. It's nice park, you hear birds and stuff. I just go in my car, bring my laptop and work. Okay? And also another distraction for me is I go up and grab a drink of water, I go to the bathroom, and if you hear the baby crying, I feel bad, I want to take a look at him. I'm in the car, I don't hear anything. If I want to take a pee, I gotta hold it in. Okay? because I have to use the park bathroom, right? So I have to take 5 minutes, and I actually limit, what I do is every hour, 45 minutes, I set a timer, I take a break, and maybe I'll go to the bathroom. But before the timer, I hold it in at work. So you put yourself in a situation where, and unless I'm doing a personal hotspot, I can't get internet. So I can't like just distract let me see what's online. I can't. Or if I'm sitting in the car, I have to work. And I can't leave the car until I finish. So put yourself 5 to 6 p.m., go somewhere where you see no girls, no guys, no computer, right? Your prospect list, write a list, and then you just call them. Now, one of the mistakes people do is sometimes your friend asks me, can you send me some information online?
Yeah.
Right? So what happens is you call the person, and you're in prospecting mode, and you go online, and if you go online, it's never just one email. You see other emails coming in. You want to click here, and then click, and then the whole time is over. So what you do is very simple. When you make the calls, you take notes. You don't email them until you're done. So you make all your phone calls. Okay, you don't have a place to go hide in the closet. Just make like I hide in my car. So call. You know my car. I have a window shade. You know the one that blocks the sun. And I have another window shade. I brought an extra window shade, so it's totally blocked off. Right, so I can't see anything. But on this window, I have some air. I see trees and stuff. It's nice. But up front, I have no sun. Doesn't glare my computer. So when you do that, you talk to your prospects. You write notes on a piece of paper. After you're done, then you go back to your computer later. After you make your 10 phone calls. Then you go back and email your friends. So because when we work, it's like, do you play sports? No?
Go to the gym.
Go to the gym, right? Okay, you go to the gym. What do you do in the gym?
Work out.
You work out. Do you have to warm up before you work out?
Yeah.
Can you just like stop benching press without warming up?
The stretch and.
Stretch, or you get hurt, right? You gotta warm up. So prospecting is like working out. Okay, could you, for example, could you go to the gym and warm up and do 2 sets of bench press, then stop and then go read a book and go back to lifting bench press again? You can't. You have to warm up again.
Yeah.
So every time you're warming up, you're wasting time. It's like if you're prospecting and you're sending out an email, you gotta kind of warm up and prospect again, right? But if you're making phone call, it's very easy. It's like in the gym, you work, once you're warmed up, you can go. You don't stop, take a break, you have to warm up. Same thing with prospecting. You call. After you're done, then you go online and send the emails out. That would dramatically change it.
Yeah.
Because what happens is right now, after you're prospecting, even if you don't get distracted, even if you just say you're very disciplined, focused, you go on your computer and send out email, your mind is shifted, right? It's like, I can talk to you because you work out, I work out, right?
Yeah.
When you work out, do you work out upper body,
Yeah.
lower body? Or do you go upper body, lower body, upper body, lower body, upper body, or do you do all upper body, then lower body?
Depends. Sometimes I got these programs and
Right, but
3 months and.
right. But do you do one set of bench, one legs, then go upper body? No, you maybe do all upper body,
Yeah.
and then you do all lower body, right? It's the same thing. You don't go prospect, send email, call, email. No, you make all your calls. When you're done, then you do all your emails later. You'll save your time. It's like the workout. You get it, you're working out. Because even when you work out your legs, you gotta warm up,
Yeah.
right? You don't go bench press legs, bench press. Normally, actually, when you work out, you may have an all upper body day, and all lower body day, right? That's what a lot of people do. It's the reason why, because your body works like that.
Yeah. Another thing is like when I approach those, because now every now and then I go in networking with some Western people. Most of the time I call them, they just want some information. Most of them, but for some, I used to prospect a lot of Asian people or Chinese people. I rarely these questions. I rarely get the questions of information. But for the Western people, they always give me more information.
They want you to send information right then?
Yeah, but I don't really want to send information. I want to do a face-to-face meeting.
So if they want information right there, if you feel like that's the culture,
Yeah.
right, then you have to give them the information. Okay, because that is what they want. Okay, you have to do that connects to that person. It's just like I don't explain pay plan. I don't explain pay plan in my meetings, presentations. But if I'm presenting in the Philippines or Malaysia, I always present pay plan because people want the pay plan. It's the culture. But if I do in the US or Caucasians, you don't need to talk about pay plan. It actually turns off your prospects if you talk about pay plan in the US. But they see the circles, they start thinking pyramid. Right? So I do very general, like the way I did Thursday night. But in the Philippines, they don't have the pyramid problem. I have to join the circle. So give them, you tell them.
Okay.
I would actually give it, what I do, like my sponsor, a 2-minute script. So what we do is, I call it effective presentation formula, very simple. So we work with a 20-year-old company. We're expanding in Melbourne right now. We're in the nutrition supplements, and you can earn 100, basically, 100, 200 a month, 200 to 2,000 a month, or 3,000 to 50,000 a month. Okay, you can start part-time. We do different types of training, online, or classroom training, or on-the-job training. Is this something you're interested to learn more about? If he says yes, I'll try to set up a meeting, or maybe send him some information. Okay? If you send information to people and it doesn't work,
Yeah.
then
Never work with me.
so you see me the Caucasians, the Westerners, you
Yeah.
send information,
Yeah.
it doesn't work.
No. Like when I call them and
This is cold market or warm market?
cold.
Cold market.
Kind of. I met them at events and we exchange numbers. We talk for maybe 10, 15 minutes and
So
cold
the
one.
relationship is not there, right? The relationship is not. So the easiest thing is to be Facebook friends. Facebook friends and just talk about Facebook. Build a relationship first. Hang out with them. Then they build trust. Then it's much easier. If you're not getting responses, we don't trust you. No, because the 3 reasons why people join, right? Is they know you, they like you, and they trust you. Right? You have to have all 3. They know you, they like you, they trust you. These people, especially Westerners, they're harder, right? They don't know you. They probably don't like you. They don't dislike you, but they don't like you, they're neutral, because they don't know you, and they definitely don't trust you. Okay? They know you, they don't like you, they don't trust you. So you have to understand the culture too is different. And I like, it's a good example, it's like, with Chinese, right? You talk about, like Adam's very good at product training, explaining the product and stuff. If you're talking to US, American, they would never, I'm not saying she's out of your bed, but an American, Caucasian would never listen to Adam. He was like, you're not a doctor, you have no right telling me.
Yeah.
Or, right? But like a Chinese person would never say, oh, that's really good information. The Chinese are very open to learning more. So it's a different culture, right? So, especially Westerners, they're more skeptical. They gotta know you, they gotta like you, they gotta trust you. But once they know you, like you, then it's easy. So you gotta work more. So how do you know you? Be Facebook friends, right? Comment. And that's what you post on Facebook is very important. If you post all this garbage and stuff, then you will lose credibility.
Another thing is like when you have a Chinese, because we have a Chinese version of Facebook, I always post on there, but I don't have the time to post on Facebook. You know what I mean?
WeChat.
So I can't.
WeChat.
So I can't really target the both markets. I don't
You
really
wait
have
a
time.
second. You said you have time to do it. You're just wasting your time. You have time to do it. You just practice bad time management. To post on the other English group takes 5 minutes, right? It doesn't take much time. 5-10 minutes. Do you have time 5-10 minutes a day? You can do 5 minutes a day. I'm promoting this app again. I use the iPhone app Eternity. It tracks everything you do, right? You can find 5 minutes a day you're wasting. It's important for your business. Now, if you want to get Westerners, you have to make it happen. You have to give something up. So you have the 5-10 minutes to do your English post. Now, if you say it's not worth it, I don't want to sacrifice my 10, I don't want to give something up to get my 10 minutes, then the Caucasian market is not for you. Okay?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So if you go on network with Westerners, do you ask for numbers or just Facebook?
Westerners are they don't like to give phone numbers out. They're more skeptical, right? So Facebook, it's easy now with phone.
Yeah.
Hey, let's be Facebook friends. What's your name on Facebook? So if I ask you, what's your phone number? You're like, even Chinese, what's your phone number? Hey, what's your Facebook? What's that? It's much easier. Or you ask them, if you're like if they're corporate or older, do you have a business card? Someone's working. Because everyone loves to give out the business card. Right? So what's your business card? Once they give it to you, you have all the information.
Well, they don't have Facebook. They're like, and they're like really skeptical giving out the number. They don't have Facebook. So how do you keep a relationship?
Email?
Yeah, email, but like,
Give it up. That's what I said. Give it up. Is that someone you want to work with?
No.
no.
Yeah, so give it up. It's other people. Exactly. They don't know about email. There's no Facebook, no WeChat. They want to give out phone number. Listen, move on. Move on. All right. Any other questions?
It's just about the question he asked the first one. Is it about 10 person? Is it including the person who get call or no?
He's talking about making 10 phone calls.
10 phone calls.
Yeah.
But you got 10 phone calls, but when you call, some person maybe not pick up. So
Okay. So his thing is he just wants. No. Yeah. He's just saying, I want to make 10 phone calls. But and what's better is actually you should have a quota of saying, I'm going to talk to 3 people. I used to go 5 people a day. 5, 5, 5, 3. Talk to 3 people a day. Well, I say 5, 5, 3. I'll talk to 5 new people a day, 5 follow-ups a day. That's really keep you very, very busy. Really, like you could be on the phone for 3 hours. Okay? 5. I will not stop until I talk to 5 new people a day. And sometimes you need to make 40, 50 phone calls to talk to 5 people. So what's better as you grow, because you make 10 phone calls, you may not talk to anyone. So maybe you say, yeah. So you may it's better to say, if you have only 1 hour to prospect, right? Say, I'm going to talk to 2 people today. Better than saying, I'm going to make 10 phone calls. But 10 phone calls, you may talk to no one. That doesn't really grow your business. So better numbers, like give us a quota, but you're not going to stop. You cannot leave that place. You can lock yourself in a closet somewhere until you make those calls. Okay? Because 10 phone calls, you talk to 0 people. It's not growing your business. But really, it's like, you understand, you work out and stuff, so it's about it's called batching. It's just like when you run errands, do you buy milk or buy water and go back home and work? And then you have to go buy groceries and go back. Or do you go out and do all your errands, then you go home? Right? It's the same thing. You do all your prospecting, then you do the emails and follow-ups. And that's like anything with social media. I do all my social media. Well, actually, when I write my post, I just sit down one time a month. I write all 30 posts every one day. It takes me 1 hour. I'll do all of them, and then I get them. Then I don't deal with it the rest of the month, and then just every day I just post. But they're all written already, because that's how your brain works. Okay? It's like your muscles work out. You work out, you know your muscles. You just can't keep switching back and forth. Your brain works the same way. All right? You got a lot of value.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Give Jacko a hand. I know you're a co-director. I know Jeffrey Yuan. And how long you been in business?
2 years.
2 years, okay?
Yeah. And I should be asking questions? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. To be honest.
Well, by the way, that's the first feedback. Don't ever say to be honest. Okay? That means before you were alive to me. You know, you're And by the way, that's like a bad habit. So, and I'm correcting you, because if you meet a prospect and all of a sudden, you know, to be honest, that means during the presentation you weren't honest. The subconscious, the words you use are very important for your subconscious mind. Your prospect would think, oh, to be frank. Well, before you weren't frank with me, you weren't honest with me.
Always use this. That's why. Yeah. Well, my question is, well, when I'm building, I had downlines that who likes to have really big actions. They do a lot of prospectings, a lot of numbers, but the success rate is really low. But I have people who are, what should I say, who does a little bit of action but have really good success rate. And I'm trying to tell my downline.
There's no trying, dude. See, trying. No trying. You're a leader. No honest.
Okay.
No trying. Okay.
No
So you're
problem.
telling your leaders. So you have. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I want to help you. So
Alright.
you have a downlines who don't do much, get results, and then you're.
Yeah, and I have another downline who does a lot of action but not a lot of results. And when I'm trying to tell
Every time you go, it's like we did it like this.
Okay.
You know, when I was a kid and growing up in New York, you know, New York in the winter, it's like Beijing kind of cold, and then people sneak up on you and hit you like this. Very painful. Because you have a band. Like every time you snap something.
Alright, I should buy that. Okay. So I'm telling the hardworking downline that you should spend more time.
Oh, okay, you're a leader. Can I give you more feedback? I keep cutting you off.
Yeah,
So
okay.
another bad word to use is telling downline. Do people like to be told what to do? Like your parents tell you what to do, right? So you share with your downline. Sharing is a good word. And then I'm telling you, these words matter because when you share with your downline, they feel comfortable. Jeffrey's sharing with me knowledge, not telling knowledge. Telling is like when your parents tell you what to do. People are tired of the parents telling them. I'm sharing with you. My leader shares with us. It makes it a word that makes people feel good.
Alright, I should write this down. Just give me a sec. Yep, so I was sharing with my downline and to let her spend more time with the prospects, so building more trust. But the problem was she spent a lot more time, but she doesn't have the courage to invite prospects or to prospect. Invite a prospect to know about the Usana opportunity because she's afraid to maybe lose some of. Can I say this? Something like that. If you get what I mean.
Say in Chinese. Oh, you can say in Chinese.
No.
This is your downline who actually works hard, action, but no results, you're saying?
Yeah.
Because she's not prospecting well. But by the way, okay, so from a leadership standpoint, you work with the person who's giving you results. Okay? You work with the person that's giving you results. So the person who's not taking much action but getting results, I want to find out why is that person getting results. The person must be very good. I would actually focus on getting that person to take more action than working with someone that is taking a lot of action but not getting results. You can't it's easier to get a horse that runs fast, to train them to run more, than to get a donkey to run faster.
Got it.
Okay? So from leadership, you gotta think, how can I motivate a person who doesn't take as much action to get them more excited to maybe take more action? Okay? But for the woman that's taking a lot of action, but she's not getting results, she's spending too much time building a relationship, not inviting, right? So you have, like I'll share with Jack, you tell them to keep a time limit, 20 minutes, and then you have to invite. Most of the time, the reason why she is not inviting is because of why? Why is she not inviting to the business? Not confident, but really,
Trust.
fear of rejection, yes. Fear, she's afraid that I'm gonna say this, they're gonna say no, right? She's afraid of it. If she didn't have any fear of rejection, she would invite right away. But she wants to keep talking. Because she's scared to get the rejection and ask to keep talking. If she had no fear, she would ask. So you have to have her help her get over the fear of rejection, right? Because if there was no fear of rejection, she'd probably invite right away. But in her mind too, you have to understand that the business is about getting results, not about how she's taking a lot of action, but she's taking the wrong type of action. The right type of action is really inviting. It's not to be a friend and talk. Right? So she's doing things, but doing the wrong type of things. So she's contacting people, but her results, her performance is determined by inviting, not how much you can build a relationship. And like, I know building relationships is important, but not by how long. I know there's some people, I'll tell you, when I first started, I called cold market, I was very scared, right? So I'll get rejection, hang up. If I can get a cold market to talk to me on the phone for 30 minutes, I thought I was good. Instead of like 10-second hang up on me, I got someone to talk to me for 30 minutes, right? But I never invited. So it was, at the end of the day, you still make no money. Actually, talking for 30 minutes on the phone and not inviting, a 10-second rejection hang up is actually better for you because it doesn't waste your time. So you have to explain to her, number one, you have to invite, and you have to get her over the fear of rejection.
So how can I help her to get over the fear of rejection?
How to get over the fear of rejection? Number one, she has to understand that they're not rejecting her. You know all this stuff, it's not rejecting her, right? But one thing that would help is for you to prospect with her and find that her to see that you get rejected. So even though you're a go-director, Jeffries get rejected too. So she thinks that she probably has low self-esteem, that I'm not good. But she says, well, Jeffries is a go-director, he gets rejected too. And so I'm not that bad. Even Jeffrey gets rejected. And Jeffrey handles it no problem. So, because she wants to see how you handle it. So you maybe call 5 prospects, you prospect in front of her, maybe you get, of course if you get a sign-up, that'd be great. If you don't get a sign-up, rejection is good. It's good for her to see you get rejected. Okay. One of the best trainings I do is like when I do a live prospecting call, people see me get not interested in me. Because sometimes people think, oh, you get Star Diamond Director, you're done, you're very successful, you're gonna sign up everyone. Right? I get just as much rejection as you do. But the difference is I handle it differently. If you get rejected, okay, move on. So for her to see that you get rejected, that will help her. So because right now she probably thinks it's just her. Right? Like Jeffrey, wow, so good, he still gets rejected. Because we all get rejected. Adam gets rejected, you get rejected, I get rejected. It's just how we handle the rejection.
Thank you.
Okay?
Yep.
Having them watch you do is important. It's like at any job, you normally watch what your supervisor does, like on-the-job training.
And another question, because I think teamwork is, like team spirit, teamwork, team culture, I think is one of the most important things when you're leading a team. And one of my problems is one of my challenges is to be able to unite the team together towards one goal. I think that's my challenge right now.
Okay, so your challenge is to invite your team to one goal, right? Well, what goals? What do you mean? That everyone's doing the different things?
It just feels like it's not every time, but it's like sometimes it just feels like not, like, we're not united together, so sometimes, I don't know how to say this.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So with team, at the foundation of a team, right, is trust. Okay, and this maybe just, so trust, what I mean by trust is not necessarily like, I trust you, you're not gonna steal my wallet, I mean, not that type of trust. Trust meaning like opening yourself so that, and it's just opening yourself so that what's shared is not gonna be held against you. Does that, so what I mean by like, if I share like, I am not good at, for example, I share that I get rejected too. I get lazy too, I'm frustrated, I can't stay focused. Then, so just say I'm one of your leaders, I do the trainings, right? I do trainings. But in a meeting, I share with you that one of my problems is like I get distracted easily and I have time management problems. If I share that with you, I trust you that you're not gonna hold that against me. All of a sudden, Simon, you can't do the trainings anymore. That you're still gonna support me. That you're not gonna hold that against me. Okay? If I openly share that, now, if I didn't share that and you decide to make decisions, okay. But if I shared it with you, and even if you decide not to use me, you communicate directly with me. Hey Simon, the fact that you're not doing training has nothing to do with the fact that you're distracted. Okay? Because you have a team together, the first is trust. And trust is being able to openly share the challenges and problems. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay? So one thing you can do when you do a team building event is next time with your team, it could be dinner, share something, and it starts off not serious, but share something small. You share something like funny that happened this week, something funny that other people don't know about. Or share something like, the silliest thing you did, most embarrassing thing you did. Share, and everyone share. And maybe share one of the proudest moments in their life, most memorable moment. When you start getting people to start sharing, personal stuff first, then slowly you'll share more and more things. But they have to know that when they share, it's not going to be held against them. They're not going to be judged by that. Okay, that's the first step. That's the first step, and then there's more work to that, and afterwards it's about accountability, and also about team. Is if they're not together, it means probably they're not on the same page. So you say we're doing this, and I say okay, but deep down I don't really believe in what we're doing. So that's why sometimes you feel like we're not going together. But I didn't say in your face that I don't agree, but deep down I don't agree with what you're doing. That's why I'm not committed. I have false commitment, right? So this is actually really advanced. So advanced leadership. So number one, you gotta have to open trust. The second problem is that you can't have artificial harmony. So a lot of leaders, they choose harmony instead of conflict. So what do I mean by that? Maybe you say to do something, right? And I don't agree with it, but I don't bring it up because I don't want us to fight, argue about it. So okay, I'll do what Jeffrey says. But deep down, my heart is not into you. But because of that, we have harmony. We're all outside happy, but we have no conflict. But that conflict is actually good. That doesn't mean that I bring something up, that we're going to do what I do. We still want you to do, but at least I feel heard. I feel I have a chance to express. We're in a team, I should be able to express myself. Does that make sense? If you're not expressing yourself, just do it, then you're not, so maybe I express myself. We don't do what I do, but we still do what you do. But at least I feel better that, hey, Jeffrey heard what I have to say. As opposed to, if I don't say it, deep down I don't believe it. And then we're not a team, because I have my thing, I don't feel like sharing with Jeffrey. Because on outside, we're all happy. But we're not really happy. Okay? Artificial harmony. Third thing is actually, because of that, then you don't have commitment. Right? You don't have commitment because, number one, because it all goes back to trust. Trust. You won't hold it again. Why would I actually go out there and share my disagreement if I don't trust you? If I trust you that you're not going to hold it against me, if I don't trust you, I'm going to feel like I'm not going to tell Jeff I disagree, but Jeff is going to hold it against me and punish me for it. But if I really trust you, then I should be open to share my opinions. You may not agree with it, but at least I can share. We're part of a team. Okay? So the third step is commitment, because if I can't share, then I may say, okay, we'll do it, but I'm not going to really do it. So it seems like right now, you have like artificial commitment. See that everyone's doing it, but sometimes they're not together. Right? Because outside they say it, but deep inside they're not. So there's a lot of things that, I'm not telling you you should do what the other people do, but at least you give them a chance to get hurt.
Yep, got it.
And then once it gets worse and worse, then people start going for themselves, not for the team. Because Jeff and them, they're doing anything, I don't even agree with it. I'm just gonna go for myself instead. Then it just gets worse and worse. So it starts out with the trust. Right? That's really the deeper stuff. So Chuck, you don't need to worry about it, just go prospect. Just open it up.
Yep, thank you very much.
That's really in deep leadership training.
Okay.
Okay? It's- you have to have the open trust with your team.
Alright.
But start small. If you share about silly things you do, and you slowly build it.
Sure.
Really?
No. Anything else? Good?
Yep,
Okay.
done. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm Elaine, doing this business for 6 months. Yeah. Alright, I just want to ask how, could you share about your routine when you just start a business?
Share the routine. That's a map.
Yeah,
Okay.
not
It's cool. I was looking at your case.
cover.
But you have a Chinese system. Are you
They have
using
everything on Chinese.
Windows? Windows system on the Mac?
Yeah.
Why do you have Windows on the Mac? You're really a computer idiot. But I was looking, it looks like Windows with your MacBook Air. You just switch.
Okay.
That's the first thing I say. Okay. Most, if you actually look at entrepreneurs, small business owners, 90% of them all use Macs. Okay, I'm not telling you to buy a new computer because it saves you time. Because that's because Windows. I mean, I used to have Windows. How many times do you have to reformat your computer? Right? When you reformat computer, can you work? You can't work. It's like downtime. But anyway, if you have a Mac, you know there's a program called Windows to Mac.
I'm not sure what you said.
Okay? Windows to Mac, which you transfer all your Windows stuff into Mac. And that's a get it's like you talk about getting outside your comfort zone. If you use a Mac, you're probably not comfortable, right? Do it for 2 weeks, and then you never go back. The first 1 or 2 weeks, but you probably quicker. First week, right? You switch to Mac. First week you may be weird, but afterwards it's very simple. You never go back. But there's a program for Windows to Mac that'll transfer all your Windows stuff. All right. Anyway, sorry. Also, it's very weird looking. What's it? Okay. I know the only Windows system I know is Windows XP. So I don't even know Vista. But that's the crazy thing. Like Windows XP was actually right after Census was in the news yesterday. Like, Microsoft is going to stop supporting servicing Windows XP, but it's actually been around for 14 years. But think about it. People are still using a 14-year-old operating system, right? How much things have changed in 14 years? But people are still using Windows XP. That's how bad and lousy it is. But anyway, I don't feel you feel bad. Go ahead. You have to change. Change is good.
Apple fanboy.
I'm Apple, and it's like most people do network marketing for free. I've converted so many friends to Apple. Apple never gave me a commission check. Actually, one of the things about leadership, one of the things I encourage, motivate my leaders, just really see, you want to be a leader, motivate people, get people loyalty. When I got my first gold director, my first 2 gold directors, I bought them MacBooks. Okay, so they were using. But it was they totally surprised me. But they were using. They needed new computers too. But they were saving money. Their computers would crash. They were using Windows. So I surprised them in the mail. I surprised them right in the mail. I saw it as a business investment too. They're more efficient. The computer keep crashing. Now they have a new computer. They can prospect more. Not worry about, I can't do, my computer doesn't work. You can prospect more. Anyway.
My question is, could you share about your routine?
Oh, my routine.
You just started your business, not now.
When I first started,
Yeah, when you just started and use the right method to rocket your.
when I first started, I was like the worst routine was like I would think of getting the home run, like the big superstar in the business. So my list, I'll contact, besides my family, but I'll contact my NBA trainers, see, oh, if the NBA Clippers, I do the trainer, would start using the products, then all of a sudden, 15 players on the NBA team, they all use health packs. Well, ching, 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 maxing out centers. Every month they get a health pack, they get Procosa, they get the shakes. Every week we 5,000 points. I don't need to do any work. Okay, that's my thinking. But, or I get a doctor to get a clinic. That doesn't work because NBA team will require 10, 15 meetings before they actually use the products, right? This business is built on the average person. A person out there walking down the street but hungry to make a change. So I talked to maybe 10 prospects my first 2 months. That's the wrong routine. Okay?
No,
Don't do that.
Okay, I
Okay?
just switched
The right
to-
routine
Yeah.
is I set a daily time, like I share with Jacko. That time 4 p.m. to like 7 p.m. every day. That's all I did was prospect. Okay, I don't care what my friends did. We hang out for dinner. It would be like 7:30, so 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. That's my prospecting time.
You make a course?
Huh?
That dinner,
From 4 to 7 p.m. then I'll eat dinner. And sometimes I was see because it was the time zone. 4 p.m. I actually got out of work by then. 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. in New York. But it's kind of like Perth and Melbourne time. So 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. in New York, I can call up my friends in New York. And I also did marketing, my leads in New York. Work all the way. Sometimes I'll see I can work to 8 p.m. But sometimes I'll run out of energy. By 7 p.m. I'll eat dinner and make a couple other calls. Okay. On weekends, I'll make maybe do 1 hour prospecting. Also, later on, as I learn more about the business, I will prospect in the morning a little bit, from 7 to, not maybe 7 to like maybe 8 a.m., 9 a.m., a little bit, in the East Coast. Because a lot of stay-at-home moms, that's a good time to call them. 10 a.m., 11 a.m. is a good time for stay-at-home moms. The babies are sleeping, the kids are in school, so you get those people to talk to. But the only routine was I had 5-5-3. Every day, I'll talk to 5 new people. I don't care the no-no-nos. Great. Actually, I was very happy they no-no-nos. Because for me, sometimes it would take me a long time to call 5 people. So to quickly give me a no, then I'm done. I don't need to I can relax. Okay? So you set a quota, so you now work in the business like 20 hours a day. Talk to 5 people, do 5 follow-ups. And do 3 invites, 3 presentations a day. Okay, 5.
How can you know this new prospect in different places?
I would do marketing, advertising, and I also will co-market.
Is this role you tell to your new partners?
Oh, my new partners now, number 1, they got to listen to my audio, how to invite. So what I shared before, the S.O.W. Right, it's on my website, 38-minute audio. They must listen to it. Afterwards, they have to make their name list. 100 names at least. And over 100 names, S.O.W. With phone numbers and emails, and give me the list. So why do I have a list? So I can hold them accountable for it. And also, if they ever quit the business, I have the list, I can call them. Which is really important because remember we were sharing the circles before Chuck? The most of the superstars is not someone you know, it's someone that someone else knows. Did you original upline in the business? Oh, yes, actually, Adam sponsored you, right? Husband.
yeah,
Right.
but come on.
Huh? The code market.
How would you talk to someone that you don't know though? Like, if it's your friend's friend.
So Chuck, hey Chuck, so basically your mutual friend Osmond. Hey Chuck, you don't know me, I'm Simon Chan, I'm from the US. Okay, we have a mutual friend in Osmond, and I'm working in the business right now. We're looking for young, hungry people who want to earn some part-time income. Would you be interested? Okay, straightforward. Or if you're an S, so I actually will get Osmond's list, and you say S.O.W. Right? If you're an S, you're more successful. Say, and he's maybe out of business. By the way, if I sponsor you, I'll put you in Osmond's downline, right? For sure, this contact. So, hey Chuck, this is Simon Chan. I'm an American here. I work with Osmond, I think a mutual friend. And I asked him who does he know that's smart, and he said you're one of the smarter people he knows. And I work with a company looking for people who want to earn some part-time income. Would you be interested? No. Most people say no, you just move on. But some people will be interested, and then we invite.
When you talk about that 3 hours prospecting, because you have warm up and then you invite and then you present, so prospecting is all 3 combined together.
Yeah.
For you.
Yeah, invite. Yeah. So during that time, I may schedule my meetings during that time too, 4 to 7.
As you said.
But I did it every day. Okay, my goal is to talk to 25 new people a week. 25 new. It doesn't matter if we all know. It doesn't matter. It's just talk to new people. It could be someone in the bookstore, in the gym, you know, a cold market, phone book, leads, warm market, you know, total.
So you're very, daily routine. Do you have
One more thing. You know, Jackal, the target is very important. It's just like working out. If you don't have a target,
Yeah.
you go to the gym, you're wasting your time. You don't know what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
When you go to the gym, you know like how many sets of this you got to do. You have a program, you said.
Yeah.
When you have a program, you work out much better.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. You got to have a quota. Every day I'm going to talk to 5 new people. If 5 new people, you get 5 quick no's, and great. But you don't stop until you hit the quota.
But how do you have time to build a relationship if you go there? Just 5 people. But you just don't have enough time to build a relationship?
No, well, some of these people, some of them are follow-ups. Some of them are new people I build a relationship with. Right? When I talk about this, it is about people who I'm inviting to the business. Does not include like, let's go hang out and build a relationship. There's people I build a relationship with, I'm going to invite them to the business. Or if I do advertising, you don't need, it's co-market, there's no such thing as co-market. Like, you want to earn extra income, it's like very direct with Chuck before. That could be 5 phone calls right there. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Okay. So will you get tired of those daily routines?
Of course you get tired of daily routine. So I listen to audios. So I used to listen to audios all the time. And also, you have to know yourself where like, for me, what makes you motivated. Like for me, exercise makes me motivated. So I always exercise right before I prospect. I'll do something before I prospect. I would do some push-ups or jumping jacks, something 2 minutes, or maybe excited, feel good. I'll listen to some Brian Tracy audios, motivate me, and I'll prospect.
Will you feel like sometimes you listen to the audio order when you get sick? You hear it every day, like go out, go motivate.
Then it's time to buy a new one.
I mean the basic philosophy are the same. Just they get you pumped up, but.
No, that's not true. There's a lot of audios that teach you skills. So what audio are you listening to now? Okay, go listen to the English version. Get outside your comfort zone. You only get better when you do things you don't like to do. Get outside because you want to be successful. Do things you don't like to do. That actually make you better. Listen to my audios. My audio is not motivation. Most of my skills oriented, right? Skills.
Like 5
5 things, right?
Yeah.
The 5 things you gotta learn. So when you listen to them, just because you're listening does not mean you're applying them. You don't listen to them, and you have to make sure you apply them. I still listen to audios. You have your goals. Every day you should plan your day. How many people you're talking to? But like I use a mind map to plan my day. When I wake up, what I have to do. Everything's planned. Calendar.
And the next
But you give me like a weird look. Everything's planned. But that's another success habit. I don't wake up and say, oh, what I'm going to do today. No, when I wake the night before, I plan every hour. I know exactly when I'm going to the gym, because if you don't plan, time goes by very quickly. The next you're daydreaming. Next thing you know, oh, it's lunchtime. Next thing you know, so when you have a kid, you'll be even more. For me, it's like I pick up my son at 5:30. I got to hurry and I got to work out. I could do so many things before 5:30. Otherwise, once he gets home, there's no time for work. So it's a huge urgency to work before I pick him up.
And how do you talk to those prospects if they want to concentrate on their study?
It depends. I mean, if they all keep saying that to me, then okay, you move on, let them go, right?
I just move on.
But if they're initially, I'll ask them like, there's 2 ways: whether they're just saying it as an excuse or they really want to concentrate. Right? I don't know this. If it's serious, like I really want to concentrate on studying, then you say, okay, great, concentrate on studying. Can I follow up you later?
The case is they really see the benefits of this business and they think 8 to 10 hours is not enough. They think they need to invest more time.
So look at me. So you're pretty smart, right, in school,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
Even though you're using Windows on computer, you're pretty smart. So you tell them, look, I do well in school and I can do this business.
Okay.
Right? Do you think I'm smarter than you? Do you think I'm smarter than you?
You are.
No, not me, of course. You're asking them, right? You're the same, right? I can make this happen. I can, actually, most people think you have to spend more time. I actually can do one of my school and still do this. Let me show you how. Yeah.
And the last question is how you control your emotion.
No, how to control your emotions. Okay. EQ, right? A lot of it through experience. Watch Star Wars. Emotions on the dark side. That's one of my favorite movies is Star Wars. I don't watch many movies. There's a lot of wisdom in Yoda, right? Fear leads to the dark side. Fear, emotions. How do you control your emotions? It's about self-awareness. Self-awareness. Imagine you're Elaine, you're doing this, but imagine someone was looking at you. Right, looking at you. Perception. Like imagine, like if you're Elaine, you're sitting there, there's another Elaine here looking at Elaine.
So
right? Another Elaine looking at you. You're like, oh my goodness, why is Elaine using a Windows on a Mac? Right? Self-awareness. So if you're angry, think about if someone looking at you. You'd be like, why is this person doing that? Right? Why is she angry? Why is she so emotional about it? So silly, it's such a small thing. Try to put yourself in the third person. Because sometimes we're so caught up, we just do it. But just think about why you're doing it, imagine you were actually another person looking at you. But if you want to react in terms of emotion, there's still a couple of rules, right? Whatever happens years from now is very small. It's not going to be a big deal. You think it's a big deal now, it's not going to be a big deal. Think about it, even when you're 10 years ago, whatever, all the things that happened, you thought it was a big deal? It's not a big deal, right? So it's just a small little thing.
And when you get something negative in your life,
Well, you get what?
negative things
Okay.
in your life, or you get distracted, how do you, prevent these things influence the team and my emotion?
Okay, so one of the things to stay focused is, it's okay. One of the things to stay focused and motivated is you're working on something new, okay? Like a side thing, but does not distract you from your business. So maybe you're still prospecting, but maybe you want to reach to a certain different group of students. Maybe you want to do an event with your team. Events are good, meeting your team. Maybe you want to do a weekly, once a month training. Something new to keep you excited. That'll keep you focused in the business. If you do the same routine over and over again, that can be very boring. You lose. So you got to do something new. That's why events are important. Could be a little team event. So maybe, like the allies haven't got together, we're going to do something fun. Playing like night to karaoke. Something new to look forward to. So that breaks the routine. Now you're still doing the prospecting. Still doing that. But you're something exciting to look forward to. Some new goals. New goals, events. Maybe you want to start calling code market from the phone book. Maybe you want to do some flyers and put them in the university. Something new. But make sure it doesn't distract you from what you're doing already. All right?
To complement the answers that you gave about the what we call emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
You can actually read out some books about emotional intelligence. I read one book that I borrowed from this library. I didn't manage to finish reading the book, but it was very useful. It's called Emotional Intelligence.
Yeah, there's a good book called Emotional Intelligence by Daniel Coleman. I think it was written like 10, 15 years ago by Daniel Coleman. Okay? Thank you, Ryan. Yep. Can we go?
Yeah.
Go right.
I just got two questions. The first one is how.
So first of all, I know your name is Kelly.
Yeah.
And then how long have you been in the business?
I'm in this business near 9 months.
Okay.
Yeah, and I just want to ask you two questions. The first one is how do you find a need, and then share with the people.
Okay, how do you find the need of your prospect?
No, it's just like and then like sometimes I found the need, and my friend told me this is about how people something, and I just shared the story with them, and then they will be say, oh, I think I better try the other one, and then if I need, oh, I already buy something, and then when I finish it, and I will be told you. And then I have one before, and she say maybe to the March, I'll be talking to you again. And then I was like call her in March, and she answered.
Okay, so if she doesn't answer the phone, you ask her, hey, last time we talked, you told me to contact you in March. I just want to see if you're open to talking about this. If it's not, then let me know. I still want to be friends. It's just like the way I shared with Ashley before. If not returning a phone call, say, if you're not interested now, it's not a good time, that's fine. Let's just want to be friends, see how you do it.
Yeah, but I probably think this, I just don't know why, but when I was sharing this stuff with them, and maybe I think I'm too, precious to sell to them. And then, but I don't know how to change this stuff because.
Yeah, so you're probably too pressured. It could have been, right? But right now, don't worry about these people. I have people I contact who don't return my phone calls. So you're not the only one. That's the nature of this business. People will not talk. That's the nature of people, right? So it's not you're doing anything wrong. If every one of your prospects like that, then okay, maybe there's some problem. Yeah, but one couple people, it happens. Yeah, it's not you.
Oh.
Okay. If some people also, they just say, your second question is, they should order again, but they haven't used the products. They don't want to order again, right? That is another common thing. You have some people like, now you can try to convince them. I'm not saying this is the only way to do it. For me, I don't try to convince them. I'm actually go out to the store, I'd rather find the next Osmond and try to spend my time on convincing them. I tell them the benefit why you should take the product, but they're not taking the product. It's really like my attitude to my brother. I don't actually want them. I'd rather go and find new leaders. But it's not you, it's part like, if you were pressured them before, you can say, I apologize, I'm sorry, maybe I put too much pressure again, I will never pressure you about your son again. Tell them that. I just want to be friends and can we hang out? Can we get together?
How do you sound like they need something, like when after you do prospecting and you're going to ask them a lot of questions and to find them?
So what you should be asking questions before you prospect them. Because you should find the prospect's need before you prospect them. Okay? So what I mean, before you present to them.
It's like some person they have a lot of people on place and so you can talk to them.
Okay, so let's get back. So you want to find a prospect need. One way is you do research on the prospects. What's a good way to research on prospects? Social media, right? You look at what pictures they post, what things they like to do, right? That basically gives you an idea of what they like, what their challenges are. But it's very simple. It used to be very hard. Now it's very easy. Just do a Facebook profile. I wonder what Iris is. I just look at my pictures, what she's been doing, I kind of know what she's doing, right? So I can think of ways to relate to them. So then I'll make my presentation related to the way that would interest her. So a good story I was sharing was like, if right before a presentation, I'll find out the needs of a prospect. If I'm speaking to a younger crowd, I always talk more about things that the younger crowd would like to hear, right? If I'm speaking to prospects who are older and think of getting married, I'll talk about my story about my wedding more. Okay, so for example, here's an example about needs, the interest. Like on Thursday, I think almost everyone here was on Thursday, right? I shared a lot of stories about like most of the people there on Thursday. How old are they? If it's older than 30 or younger than 30? Younger than 30, right? What do people younger 30 relate to? Party. Girls.
Yeah.
That's why I share stories about my girlfriend that looked down on me and stuff like that. But that's something that guys can relate to, that crowd can relate to. If I'm talking to a baby boomer, I probably now I'm not saying that story is fake. It's a real story. I would not have added that story in there. Okay, I actually would talk more about my kids. By the way, you can always talk more about kids. Parents love to talk about kids. I would actually talk more about my children if it was in a Gen X. I would actually show them two videos. A video of my newborn. Actually, a video of my newborn, actually every day of his life. And I would show that one too, along with the other one. So you're related to the crowd. So I find out what the crowd is, how old they are, what they like to do, and then my presentation is geared towards them. Okay, like my last year, you weren't here last year, right? Last year I went into the UFI training. Remember the stories I shared?
Yeah.
Okay, what did I share?
How you meet your wife?
How about me, my wife picking up girls and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Picking up girls. Because that's what you guys like to do. Young guys like to party and like to pick up girls, right? Like to go out. So I always relate to that crowd. Relate to the crowd. Okay.
So when you're like talking to this thing that person wants to hear about, so
Yes.
the needs. Is that what you mean?
Yes, your presentation should always be geared towards you. So think about this. Let me think. So you're originally from where? China? What part of China? North. What city?
Chongqing.
Okay, so you're in the northern China, right? If there was 100 people in the room, right, and 99 were Westerners, 1 Asian, who would you naturally talk to? Asian, right? Okay, if there's 100 people in the room, 99 Asians, but 1 Chinese, who would you talk to? Chinese, right? The rest are Korean, Japanese, right? If there's 100 Chinese in a room, but 1 from mainland China, the other one from Taiwan, Hong Kong, Malaysia, who would you talk to? China, right? So people think in common. You have to understand that. So always, when you're prospecting, find ways to connect with a person that something they do that you also have. Connection, in common. People like, we're talking about they know you, they like you, they trust you. They like you when you have something in common with them. Well, I naturally feel Osman's cool and Jeffrey's cool. He's an MBA. Most Australians didn't know about MBA, but he knows. So I think actually they're kind of cool, right? So that, do I try to intentionally do that? That's just natural. Just automatically, human nature automatically happens. Just like we automatically get angry, get emotional, automatically happens. People in common. So if you know that, think about this. If you have what are some things? Do you like animals? What type of animals do you like? You like dog? Do you like cat? Do you like dog more or cat more? Dog more. If someone showed a commercial to you with a dog, cute dog, or showed a commercial with a cat, which one would you like more? You probably like both, but which one would you like more? Dog, because you like dog. Or maybe show one with a lizard. You probably like the dog more, right? So when you do marketing presentation, you always try to connect with the audience. Whatever you like, the more I find out details, my presentation is going to be geared. There's intentional reasons why I put Obi on there. It's not like, oh, he's cute. Yeah. But I know a lot of people like dogs, right? So people like fluffy dogs, cute dogs, I put it up there. People will like me more. If they like me more, they get. First of all, I share stuff, so they know me. They get to know me. They get to like me. And then when I share like embarrassing things about my girlfriend, not looking up to me, then they trust me because I trusted them with information. They trust me more. Then when I tell them to sign up, they'll trust me more because they know me, they like me, and they trust me. So when you present, your message should always be as specific as possible to that audience. And that's why, just to share, marketing-wise, why Facebook is valuable, because in Facebook, I can put an ad that targets, you can be specific targeting, right? So for example, if I put a TV commercial in Chinese, or TV commercial in English, you probably look at the Chinese one more, right? Because that's catered towards you. If I do an English one, I may have to spend more money to get your attention, right? It's just like Elaine, she was doing in Chinese, right? Chinese audios. If I do a commercial in English or Chinese one will actually get me more prospects if I'm talking to Chinese crowd. So when you, market is like a basic marketing lesson. You want to be as specific, targeted as possible. And the reason why Facebook is powerful is I can do an ad that shows only Chinese-speaking people under the age of 25 in Melbourne, put that ad up. And only people that fit that criteria will see that ad, right? And then when I click on it, the message will be very specific towards Chinese. Then I won't be wasting money, because then the Westerners won't be clicking on it. So Facebook lets you target, but marketing and presenting is all about targeting and creating a message. And when you prospect to people, the way you invite, targeting to their needs. You all understand about targeting?
Yeah.
Okay, it's very specific. The more specific you are, the better the ad is. So for example, if I did an ad, just if you a flyer that says, looking for university students who want to earn extra income. Okay, would you be interested in that version? Or would you be interested looking for university students from northern China who wants to earn more extra income? Which one would be more targeted? Would you be more interested? Northern China, right? Because it's targeted to you, right? What year are you in university?
Spring year.
Huh?
Spring year.
Last year. First year, freshman.
First year.
Freshman? Is it called freshman here?
Yeah.
Swingbird? Springbird? Fresh year. First year. So what about this ad? Looking for first year university students from northern China who want to earn extra income. That'd be even better for you. Right? Targeted. So you want to be more specific as possible when you're doing a presentation and marketing.
How about like if you also do the, as you say, the marketing is important. How about the other, like you also need to, because you're in Australia, and how about if you want to do like some network marketing, and then you didn't have the same company. Yeah, like internet marketing.
Wait, I don't understand the question. I'm sorry.
It's just like because you're, as you say, you're an agent, and then you can do the agent marketing. But because you're in Australia, so you want to do like some international marketing, but maybe in the international, no, you didn't have like same company.
Okay. So you talk about doing expanding USANA to another country?
No.
I don't.
I think I understand.
如果你要是在澳洲的话，你想去做澳洲的市场，不是去的话怎么办？
你想做别的市场？
对。
OK。
但是没有共同点，因为你们的语言然后文化都是不一样的。
所以你说你要去发展别的国家？
对。
可是他们的语言不同，比如说什么语言？让他讲，让我讲，让Kelly讲。
比如说你要是在那个澳大利亚，然后就是你认识一些人，他们有可能是来自不同国家的，他们有可能来自美国或者是新加坡、新西兰什么的，然后就是他们想跟你发展，但是就是他们可能就是先是就是在留学的时候才能跟你发展，之后他们会回到他们自己的国家。
对，这个很简单，有两个做 two ways to do it, right? You want to expand. 如果他们做得好的话，你会去另外一个国家跟他们一起发展，要花些时间在那个国家，对吧？第二个方面就是你比如说 online webinar、Skype、WeChat，而且我的国际，我们用过 webinar。现在我的 coaching 的培训我是做 webinar， 每个星期二一个 webinar， 这是支持 support 他们的。对，这种现在有 technology 是很简单，可是你要做得好的话，发展个团队的话，你要去国际去花点时间吧。可是现在很简单，打电话是 Adam 去中国去发展，他跟接我时他在国际打电话跟客户打，也可以用 Skype 打，现在 Skype online 很便宜。
How do you organize your phone call? Because I have a goal to make a call. Is like 2 prospecting call and 2 inviting call and 2 lead call. But sometimes just like when you're confused.
Okay, don't worry about 2 follow-up calls, 2 lead calls. Just
it's my goal.
Yeah. Easy way to make the goal is a new prospect or follow-up. 比较简单点，不要这么复杂。First call, new prospect or follow-up call. Okay, make it simpler. New prospect, follow-up call, or presentation. 3. So new prospect. When I talk to new prospect, you can say yes or no. Right, that can build a relation. Follow-up call is after we talk, I follow up with you. Presentation, you're interested, we do a presentation. Okay?
Thank you.
All right. Last one, okay? No. You know what? Take action. You speak quicker. Okay. We'll go with you, and it'll be the last one. Okay. Then if you're good, I'll show you something special. Okay? Okay.
Hello, Susan.
Yes.
I have 3 or 4 questions.
Okay.
The first one is, one of my downline, she has a mindset that it's a waste of time to have meals or have dinner with her team, or like answer questions to her team.
So it's waste of time to meet with her team.
Yeah, because she sees her time really valuable.
Okay, so maybe it is a waste of time. What is happening during the dinners? What's happening during the meal? Is she actually doing training? It's just like chit chat, talking about what's on TV. Well, she may be right. Maybe a waste of time. What's happening in the? Have you been to one of her team dinners?
Yeah.
Are they good?
I think it's kind of like an event to bring team members together, like not just business. Because event is really important for young people, right? But
Yeah.
she thinks it's just eating and chatting, and
So she doesn't like to do that, right?
yes.
But
So
is she
doesn't matter.
is she a good downline? Is she lead? You say she's a leader.
Yeah, leader.
She sponsors people.
Yes.
So you should have someone. Does she have to eat?
Yeah.
Just tell her to show up.
Yeah, the thing is, like, every time we
So she's serious. She's probably very serious in the business, right?
very serious.
Okay, so she's very serious. She sounds like someone like me. I hate people. I like to be serious, right? So someone else organized it. So you, as a team, you leverage. She's very serious, right? But other people like to have fun. So you have someone else organize the dinner. But maybe you go, you can take care, but she has got to get value. So you train her and teach her. So she feels like going to the dinner is not just talking, but she actually learns something. Okay? If she is serious, she wants to grow fast, she has to understand this is an important part of the business. But maybe she can do, does she like to teach? Does she like to teach people skills, share?
Yes, I think so.
Because she's like a director type. She wants to be all business,
Yes.
right? I want to share, talk about all business.
Yeah.
So make the dinner maybe 10 minutes of all business. And then you share something that she can learn too. So she feels like not only is she giving, but she can learn in the dinner too. And then the rest could be fun time. So she feels at least it's not wasting her time, she gets something out there.
Like,
If she's going there just to have fun, she's probably going to waste of time. So let her share something. Let her teach a little bit.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay? And then you teach her something too. So she feels like she's getting something from you. That's important.
So the second question is, how to make downlines come to the meeting?
Which meeting? Business presentation or like training? Like what?
Every meeting.
Well, it goes back to like the 60% whatever. So some people just whine and they just don't go, right?
Yeah.
You edify and promote. Some people don't go, just focus on working the ones that do come. Okay, you get more, it's the 80-20 rule. Everyone know 80-20 rule?
Yeah.
You focus 80% of your time on your 20%. The 80% that don't go up, don't waste chasing phone calls. You gotta find like the next Osmond, right? Or the next Bobby. They're out there. So you focus on those good people.
Yeah, that leads to my third question is, I know 80-20% rule, but how you decide the person is worth your time? Like,
Oh, good. Like with Osmond, I was sharing with Osmond. They do 5 things, right? Number 1, they're building the list. Every day they're trying to network and meet new friends. Number 2, they are prospecting. Number 3, they're following up old prospects.
But they are not born to do these things. You have to teach them.
You teach them, yeah. You teach them. Okay, number 4 is self-development. Number 5, talking to your team. So how do you know? You give a small homework assignment to them. Like, can you make so for example, if I sponsor someone, and you can choose whatever you want, right? You gotta listen to my audio. Actually, I don't sponsor the person until they listen to the audio and the list. You have to make a list, sponsor the audio. Something small. Say today is Sunday, can you do that by Wednesday? If you can't, or Tuesday. If they can't do it by Tuesday, then I know I don't get so excited. But if they do it right away, then you work with them. You give them small little tasks to do. Can you talk to 5 people today? Oh, I didn't talk to 5 people. I was too tired. I was at university. I was too busy. They give me excuses. Then you know they're like the 80%. They're not the top 20.
Yeah, but the thing is only like 1% of the population that will do these things by the deadline.
So that one person is the one you work with. You'd rather spend all your time with that one person and spend a lot of time scattered with all these other people. The only other people, they're the ones who need the fun events, whether the team dinners and stuff like that. That's what they do. But you spend your time, your energy, phone calls, teaching, training with the one person that's willing to do that. Because that one person is going to do more than other people combined.
Then I will feel guilty to the rest of the.
Oh, if you feel guilty, well then you should feel guilty. You're not spending time with the person that deserves your time.
Yeah.
You're unfair to that one person that deserves your time.
That's it.
I spend time on everyone.
You can't spend time with everyone. You only have 24 hours. Okay, how much time do you spend? How much time do you spend with that one person that's good? How much time?
Most of the time.
How many hours?
Maybe 1 hour, 12 per day.
Well, that's good. So how about spending 4 hours a day? And stop other people, cut that out, spend 4 hours a day with that person. Okay? Your business growing by the leaders, not by the masses. The leader that becomes good will bring these other people. The other people, you do like a weekly meeting, you do a dinner, that's when you work with them.
Yeah, but like, even if she's the one like doing everything by the deadline, not means she's a great leader in the future.
Correct, you're right. So that's where you have to prospect and find a great leader. Or she may find a great leader, right? She may find, you're looking for people with good attitude. Okay, good attitude, 80-20 rule, you spend time with leaders.
Yeah, this always confuses because I always like, if I give up a deadline, I always feel like I give up too soon. Then
You don't give up on them, they give up on themselves. They give up on themselves, you don't give up on them. They give up on themselves when they don't do their homework. You never give up on them. You make yourself available, see, it's very easy, you make yourself available. So when you want ready, give me a call. You see who calls you.
But 99% you won't call me.
So they know you don't deserve working with them. But they will be people who call.
So I have to find another one.
You find another, yes. This business is about finding leaders.
Done. Thank
Okay,
you.
finding leaders. Like working with people that deserve your time. Now, the other group is important. That's when you do the team meetings, the dinners. Okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks so much.
Last one. So what's your name? How long have you been in business?
I'm Melita, and I've been in this business for 7 months.
What's your rank?
Believer.
Okay. By the way, you should say that. I'll give you feedback. What's your rank? Believer. So I'm a believer. Confidence. How you say it is very important.
Yes.
Okay?
Okay.
So by the way you say it, I can tell that you're something up here. You have to figure that out. You're not confident. That's why you're having a lot of problems. That's why you're having a lot of challenges in the business. Because you're not confident. You have doubts about whether this business works. Whether you have doubts that maybe people should listen to you because you're not successful yet. Right? So that's true?
Yeah.
You've done-
So,
Yeah. Just by saying I'm a believer, 3 words I can tell. Because the way you react, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. I'm a believer. Okay, anyway, go ahead.
Okay. My question is, first is how to prospect people like in event. Like last time I joined a camp and it's around 40 people in a camp, and we got one night. Then I really don't know how to maintain the relationship.
What type of camp is it?
It's like and the student association. So the committee from every university, they come, and it's just a bonding camp. But I think I see a lot of good leaders. I mean, like they have the good working attitude from what I see.
So, here's a tip. When you Wait, I need you paying attention. When you're going out there and building a relationship, imagine you are not in this business. How would you talk to them?
Yeah.
Be natural.
Yeah.
Imagine you're not in the business. Be natural. Okay?
Yeah.
Build a relationship.
Yeah.
Find friends to hang out with.
Yes. But I mean, like, I don't get the time to get what their needs and everything. Like,
Find out what do you like to do. What do you like to do? What movies do you like to do? Just make friends. Don't think about needs and USANA needs. Forget about it. Throw that out the window. Imagine you were not in USANA. How would you talk to these people? Just be a person. Be natural.
Yeah.
What do you like to do? Would you like to go shopping? What like movies do you like to watch? Do you like to go out at night? Do you karaoke? Do you go to clubs? Do you go to pubs? Imagine you're not in the business. Just be a natural person. Real natural person.
And after that, how to get back to them?
Well, you use Facebook. You message them. No, if they were, let me ask you. Do you have any friends in your life?
Yes.
Yes. How would you get back to your friends?
Just talk to them. But
Exactly, talk to them. You message on Facebook, how's it going? What do you like to do? Do you want to catch up for coffee? You want to get coffee one day, hang out? Or my friends and I will go to karaoke, do you want to join us? Okay, it's very simple, because we're going to talk for 2 hours about this topic. Go get the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Okay, that will teach you everything you need to know. How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. What was the title of the book?
how to win friends and influence people.
By who?
Daniel
Dale Carnegie. Write it down. Okay? That's how you guys should, by the way, find out whether you're training a downline, whether they learn or not. Have them repeat it back to you. If you can't repeat it back to you, they didn't really learn it. So Dale Carnegie, D-A-L-E, Carnegie.
Yes.
How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Just like what you said, you should be like natural when talking to people, but being natural wouldn't affect your progress of growing in the business, like the progress of getting results.
No, okay. You're being natural, this business is natural, right? You're thinking too much, you're thinking way too much. Just treat people as people, become friends, and then you find out and you invite them. Say, would you be interested in learning some part-time income? That's how you invite them. So you're thinking about, I have to be like USANA mode and then not USANA, it's the same. Be natural people. It doesn't affect your results, actually it helps your results. Because the more natural you are, the more friends you meet. People want to meet you. If you have a hidden agenda, oh, I want to meet this person so I can get them in USANA. People will not become your friend. They can sense it. They will sense it very easily that you have a self-view of motive. So by natural, it doesn't hurt you in the business, it actually helps you, it actually builds your friends up. How to Win Friends and Influence People, your book. Valerie.
I noticed like a lot of new business partners, they have this concern, and then most of them, they spend like, let's say, about 6 months with the concern, and it's still there. So how do you help them relieve it, or at least get them to...
Wait, come again? So they're in the business for
like more than 3 months,
Yeah.
4 months, and they still have this concern, they have USANA mode and then non-USANA mode. And like when they talk to people, it's like they always have an agenda, and it's like how do you lead these people away from that kind of mindset?
one way is for them to see you prospect. So for example, you take them shopping. You see, hey, I'm very natural, I can meet people, no agenda. It was for them to see you do it. Another way is just constantly remind, and another problem is they haven't talked to enough people. Because when you haven't talked to enough people, you haven't practiced enough. But you seem pretty good at it, so when you go out there, have them watch you. Okay? Yeah, Sean.
I don't know about the Chinese culture, but in Australia, a problem for most female network marketers when they try to approach people, strangers, it seems like it's always very awkward, as if they're trying to come up to them. You know what I'm saying? Why is this girl talking to me? Does she like me? Like she's asking me all these interests and stuff like that. I mean, like, I'm not saying from my own perspective, of course. I'm just saying that in the future, if I have a female downline, how can I help them out?
So that's a good prospecting tool for the female. That's an advantage for females.
But if they come to the meeting for
I'll be honest, I've used that too, okay?
if they come to the meeting for all of the wrong reasons, they wouldn't, it's not good, right?
First of all, you never know when they're coming for the wrong reason. Hey, you know what? If a female meets a guy, and for the wrong reason, they come because of USANA, because of the wrong reason, and then they become happily ever married, is that wrong? Is that bad? It's not your right to judge either, right? Or maybe they go for the wrong reason. Maybe the guy is not interested, she's not interested, but all of a sudden, this best friend he meets, becomes married to, becomes happily married. It's not your right to judge.
Fair point, man.
I have that problem actually, because a lot of my prospects are guys. They usually have other agendas. They're like,
No wonder you're silver, okay.
Well,
Well, you should be silver, but.
But like, I feel really uncomfortable because all they want is like, let's say I talk about, even in closing and stuff like that, they just say like, oh, I wouldn't mind working with you.
So you say, okay? So you're lucky. So you say, so you know what? Okay. So you want this posture of confidence. Really, I'm serious. You want to have a chance to work with me, you gotta get started in this business. That's my way to get. You want to get to know me better? I'm very serious about business. You want to get to know me better? You're sincere. You get started in this business, and we have a chance to get to know each other better.
Then the problem is I have a boyfriend, and my boyfriend hates that. And whenever I do that,
Oh. That I'm not gonna go into. Okay? I'm not gonna go there. Don't let your boyfriend know.
It's just like later on, how do you lead guys like that? Because male dominance and stuff, and females are always underrepresented. And like,
If you feel more comfortable, just tell the guy, hey, I'm talking about business here, not about having a relationship. If you feel comfortable talking about it, you may lose the prospect though.
yeah, okay.
But if that makes you feel comfortable and then your boyfriend's not angry, then just say that. If it makes you feel more comfortable. Right? Okay, we gotta wrap. Question.
I think this is a posture. If you build up your posture, you're more
Yeah.
confident, they may not ask that silly question or something like that.
Okay.
Yes,
It's
yes.
all up to you. If you're thinking you're a superstar, they may become your fans. It's good, but they not ask for relationship,
Okay.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right, let's finish here. Go ahead.
And how to prospect people that you have limited time with?
How do you prospect people we have limited time with?
Yeah, I'm in here prospecting face to face. Like maybe in a petrol station customer or like.
So you gotta get the Facebook and connect with them outside. Get the phone number or Facebook. Connect them.
Okay, and one last question for my dog.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Could you?
No, actually, because I want to prospect the person serving me.
Yeah.
And I only have 5 minutes or less, but he's doing my receipt and stuff in my car, and then there's someone behind me. But I know he's really good.
Okay, so I say, hey, I really love your attitude. Thank you for helping me. What will most people say? Well, thank you, right? I actually work with a company. We could use people like you. I love your attitude. You will work well. Would you be interested in some part-time income that won't affect what you're doing? Okay. I work with a lot of people. Well, we could really use people with your skills. You've been really helpful. Really like it. Then you can exchange contact info.
And one last question for my downline: how to balance study and business if you want to do it both well?
How to balance studying and business, right? Time management. Start cutting out all the other stuff you don't do that doesn't make any money. Also, like I said, set up specific times. One thing that helps, especially when you first started out, because when I first started out, I didn't have discipline either. Discipline to prospect. Set specific times to prospect. And so like I was telling the Jackal, it could be 5 to 6 p.m. That's every day that's what I'm doing. Set the specific time.
Can we change the prospecting from what you mean in the phone? Instead of phone, we do face-to-face prospecting.
Sure, but
4 to 6, face-to-face prospecting.
you can do that. I'll be in a Starbucks cafe. Come to 4 to 6. But that you have to see what works well. I personally like on the phone first, call the person, then meet the Starbucks. Because on the phone, I like to get to know the person, meet the person, and it saves me time too. Save the person's time. First of all, why am I going all the way to meet you? I don't even know what this is about.
Yeah, prospecting, when we want to find their needs, maybe in school, you meet a lot of people every day, right? So can we just make it if we want to prospect 3 people a day, so we just do it in school, find 3 people, talk to 3 people a day. That's fine.
Yeah, find 3 people a day. Who you contacts?
Okay.
All right?
Yep.
All right, give Benita a hand.